Hey, it's Sunday afternoon. It's a little later than normal, and it's a whole month since last we played, and we are going to do D&D. Hey, thanks for that resub, Dave, my friend, Guild Superior guy, DM dude. Thank you for that support. Very, very appreciative of that.
Thank you.
That gives the group another +2. Hey, Chris, thank you for your support, although I'm much more grateful to Dave than I am to
Keep
you
it coming.
because
Keep it coming.
he's an easier player to DM than you are.
Yeah,
so, but you know, that's still, for lack of other players, I'm glad you're in the game.
That sounds like a challenge.
Woo!
Yeah. I think it is a challenge, Dave.
It is.
Throwing down the gauntlet.
Throwing the shit down right here in front of God and everyone, yeah. So welcome, everybody, to the Wily Hobbit network of role-playing adequacy. Yeah, that's good. It's not really a network, but I say that because it feels more powerful and foreboding.
That's cool.
But man, are we glad to be here. It has been since May the 29th, and by my reckoning, that is approaching 6 weeks. Unacceptable levels of absence on our part, but you know, life does life things, and when that happens and you have a holiday and Father's Day is in there, you just gotta, attend to those things. But man, are we glad to be back, with the exception of our good dwarf Baldwin O'Farrell, who is unable to join us today. But yeah, we'll get him back in here as well. So welcome everybody. I'm Scott, also known as Wily Hobbit, and we are up and running. Let's go around and meet our party, shall we? Let's start. We'll just go at the top of the order, the top of the overlay, with Hebony Craigbeam. What's up?
Hey, everybody. I am Dave. I am playing Hebony Craigbeam, as always, the everybody's favorite curmudgeon gnome barbarian tinkering, happy-go-lucky, wanting to be happy-go-lucky when he can, when it suits him. He's learning from his companions, so that's good.
Happy goes something.
Happy Hebony. That's the new moniker that he's going to go for.
Nice.
I can often be found over on the Guild Superior Twitch channel, where I run games and produce games and play in games. Right now, I've got a Wednesday night Greyhawk game called Beyond Saltmarsh, and we have just recently gotten the party lost, thoroughly lost in the Amadio jungle. So really excited about that as they search out the lost city of Tomoa-chan. What else? We've got a new game coming up, a Free League publishing based rule set, and it's called Mutant Zero Gen Lab Alpha, where I get to play in this one. My friend Christian, otherwise known as Bleak Season, is going to run it, and I get to play a mutant rabbit.
Mutant rabbit.
There you go. Yeah. So glad to be here. Thanks, Scott, for having me back. It's great to be with you guys.
And I'm going to use a sentence I never thought I'd get to use in my life, and I'm very thrilled to say these words together. I would like to welcome Lasagna Nipples to the stream.
Oh, my God. Beautiful.
Woo! Welcome aboard. All right, thank you, Hebony. Let's drop to the center layer, the cream of the cream-filled cookie confection sandwich, and Daryl Nimblebottom.
Thanks, Scott. I am Bob, Dr. Shoulder. Character's Daryl Nimblebottom, who was a dwarf Tempest cleric. He grew up in the Vespi Forest with a group of hobbits and joined the crew a long time ago now to be able to take the place of his brother Bingo. And he's currently searching for potentially a solution to his problem, which may be finding a very important magical sword of some sort or some type of weapon that would be able to cure him of his ills. So that's where he's at, and he's just happy to be here with the rest of the crew.
Nice. Very good. Good to see you. All right. The party's wizard. Oh, wait. No, you're not a wizard. That's right. Eridith Carwin. What's going on, man? Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you. Hello, friends. I'm Carl. On the Discord, I'm Carnage, both with a K. I am very thankful I did not have to follow the phrase lasagna nipples. I play the aforementioned not-wizard, Eridith Carwin, the arcane archer, Shadar-kai, mysterious denizen of the Shadowfall, who finds himself here in the Flanaess with a new party of friends and trying to figure out where he'll fits into all of this. And it's so good to be back.
Excellent. All right, and finally on the bottom row, next to the dark, sad window where our friend Enoch Pratt usually sits, Blarg. Good to see you, my goblin-y friend.
Oh, it's good to be here. Glad we're back together after a long month, and some of that was my fault, so sorry.
Damn
hey,
you!
I know. Hey, I play Lasagna Nipples. No, I play Blard.
Woo! TMI right there.
I play Blard, who's a goblin mastermind rogue. And now you know I'm a power gamer. So I picked the most powerful thing I could think of and coupled it with a linguist feat to add that extra push over the edge.
OP.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he, you might know him as Blard, you might know him as Jonathan Cumberbunch, you might know him as Grog. But
all the names.
He goes by Blard. He loves his newfound party members, but he hates with all of his heart Weevils, and he hopes someday to crush the evil Weevil empire.
Evil Weevil.
Yeah, that was unintended, but it worked out really.
It was really good, yeah.
Yeah.
And side note, Blarg is actually goblinoid language for lasagna nipples. So little known bit of goblin lore there. Yes, yeah, the sound that spews forth from Bobby the Barbarian's mouth after tasting lasagna nipples. Yeah, Bobby, you didn't know you spoke goblin, did you? So yeah, and that brings us back to me, and I'll be your dungeon master, trying desperately not to run this thing off into the ditch, sort of.
Yeah, that's our job.
Yeah, no shizzle. Yeah, so last time we played, which was I think it was in the winter sometime, our party, which actually in the game it is winter. We're in the month of Patchwall, which if memory serves, I think that's the 10th month of the Greyhawkian calendar. We are in the world of Greyhawk. We are in the kingdom of Ratic. We are in the Rakers. In fact, I can throw a little mappage up while I'm giving you a quick recap. Let me see if I can find that. Region, this looks like probably the right one. Boom. Yeah, so that little blue dot in the southwest corner along this Loagrim River, this trade road that winds its way through the foothills of the southern Raker Mountains, is that little blue dot is Blazingdell, and the party just left Blazingdell a day and a half ago in game time, and 2 sessions ago in D&D time, and they're making for a local landmark called the Stone Tooth. They have reason to believe, and a map that indicates so, that the Stone Tooth marks the location of an ancient dwarven stronghold named Kundrukar, and they are conscripted by a noble family in Cavric's Cove, which is out on the eastern coast of Ratic along the Solnor Ocean, the Bay of Grendep. And they are there to explore. Legend has it that there are ancient forged weapons that may still remain in the bowels, the tunnels, the dungeons, the remains of this ancient dwarven stronghold. It was overthrown by a horde of orcs some decades ago, and no one knows exactly what's become of it. If you're following along at home, this would be the Dungeons & Dragons classic module Forge of Fury. So we're playing some classic D&D in 5th edition. The party, again, is a day and a half north of Blazing Dell. Last session, they departed Blazing Dell. They encountered a, what do you call it, a logging camp, the Greenbow logging camp. They spent the night in the safety of the lodge house there. And this morning in game time, they have continued their way north, venturing off of any really marked roadway proper. They're basically following trails that go in the general direction of where they hope to soon find themselves on their map to the Stone Tooth. And so at the end of last session, the party had discovered an interesting, I don't know if it's a landmark, a place of importance, what it is, but deep in this heavily pine, oak, hickory forested mountainous topography, they saw not, 100 yards or so, maybe less, from their trail that they were following, some larger, darker shadows in the distance. So they kind of snuck up on that and discovered it's a wall of these gnarly, dark, twisted, very old-looking oak trees, sort of arranged in as they approach it cautiously, mind you, like any good adventuring party. Took them, 42 minutes of game time to go from the trail to the actual trees, for in the interest of being stealthy and slow. But they discovered it looks like maybe a half circle or maybe a ring. They've only seen kind of the southern face of this. But right in the center of this is this ancient-looking stone archway that's been grown, constructed. It's hard telling. It's weather-beaten. It's smooth. It's moss-covered. It appears to have some runes upon it. It's there's these dark, gnarly, thorny vines twisted around it, and there's these oak trees that seem to be arranged in a bit of a kind of a semicircle and peering through the arch, albeit they haven't gone through the arch yet. Or I think maybe Hebney was headed through the arch when we wrapped our session. That was kind of our version of a cliffhanger, an arch hanger. Beyond the archway, it appears that there's this overgrown clearing. A lot of thorny-looking, kind of bushy shrubs, vines again, various limbs and things that accumulate in a sort of a clearing that's all overgrown. But in the center, what appears to be kind of the center, because you can kind of see across it. It's maybe 60 feet, Hebney, from the arch it looks like, in fact, it is a ring of these gnarled oak trees. That have somehow grown in this sort of a circle-ish. And in the center-ish of all of this, and there are vines and thorn bushes and small trees and saplings here and there. But in the center is this really large, really twisted, dark, almost like black oak tree. The leaves are somewhat sparse, even though, the oaks hold their leaves well into December. But this one particularly looks like it's already dropped a lot of leaves, probably because it's so old. And it's got vines wrapped around it, and it's got splits and openings in it, and it's about 30 feet from the arch as you start to make your way in. So with that, I'll turn it over to the party. It is pretty quiet. It is. When you left the logging camp, when the sun came up, it looked like it was a clear sky above, but of course it's hard telling now that you've ventured a half day's travel north into the depth of this dark hardwood and pine fir forest. But you can see that the canopy is open around this, and it is still fairly light out. It's past midday as you make your way through the stone arch. Does anyone follow Hebney? And I will be piloting Mr. O'Farrell et al.
Blarg's going to follow him, but as he does that, Blarg's going to take out his sword.
Okay.
Look at the color of this oak. It's beautiful.
I'm thinking that this is the portal that can get Presto home, Grumpy.
Biscuits? What? Oh, yes, the code names.
Don't shout that out. Just Grog, Grumpy.
Yes, Giggles.
giggles later, grumpy now. And I think this may be the portal. If we can figure out how to activate it, we may get Presto back home to the fairies, to the fairyland.
Let's investigate.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, Presto.
While Aerith is
Can
studying the arch and he's hearing this, he's just going to be rubbing his temples a little bit, like,
Hey, Presto. Goblin shamans can cast spells that allow them to sometimes read languages. Maybe you should do that, and you can read these runes.
because I'm a goblin shaman.
Well, not today.
Yeah, I believe we've already exhausted all the languages that we know, including the extensive library of languages that Grog knows.
Well,
Maybe Gonzo can decipher.
yeah. Maybe Brother Gonzo can do it.
So Daryl at this point kind of hears all the chatter and whatnot, and actually he decide at this point he kind of says a small prayer and kind of is mindful of himself, and then he casts detect magic. And so he wants to how far away is the archway from the dead tree, do you think?
So the archway appears to be the entrance to the circle of oaks.
Okay.
And the big oak in the middle, the 30+ footer, is kind of dead reckoning, looks to be right in the center of this. Okay. So about 30 feet or so. It looks to be 60 feet from one side to the other.
So if Daryl is between the archway and the dead tree, he's got a radius of 30 feet. So he should be able to detect either magic on the archway or the dead tree.
Yeah.
So he's going to kind of say a small prayer, and then he'll, raise his hand, and then he'll look at both the area surrounding him to be able to determine if there's any magical effects on either the archway or the tree.
Okay. As you do this, and I assume everybody, Eridith, I know you were kind of rubbing your temples. Were you doing that as you were entering the archway as well, following your
not entering
companions?
yet. I was still holding back and just sort of observing everything around.
At the arch. Okay. Baldwin will follow eagerly. You notice as you cast Detect Magic, the cloak that Baldwin wears glows. And I'm not sure what school.
Warhammer on my back.
I'm going to guess it's illusion. Your Warhammer glows?
Yep.
Okay. And this, that decanter that he keeps at his belt?
Yep.
That also glows, and I think that might be conjuration type magic. The archway does not glow. Right. None of the trees glow. It's just, this overgrowth. Like once you get in there, it's almost difficult terrain to work your way in, just because of the overgrowth, the tangly, brambly, thorny, viney things. Especially for those of you who are shorter legged in the party, it's a little bit more. In fact, for you, it would be difficult terrain, so you're kind of stuck at half your movement. And I'm gonna say that is Hebney, Daryl, Baldwin, and Blarg. So Eridith, as you stand outside, the arch, watching the party, just kidding, watching the party, you see they're having a bit of a difficult time, working their way in.
So nothing appeared to happen around the ring when they passed through. Nothing.
No. Nope.
Okay. And I guess if they don't need to be rescued, I will follow them in then.
Very well. So the whole party is now inside through the arch then, is that what you're telling me?
Should we roll initiative?
Do we all need to disclose the magical stuff on us?
Yeah, if you would like to give a description of what is illuminated by Daryl's Detect Magic, Daryl's Detect, or is it Bingo, I guess? Bongo? What's your code name?
Daryl, Brother Gonzo.
Brother Gonzo. Yeah, I knew there was I
forgot about the code names.
Three Stooges name there. Yeah. Okay. So let's go around the horn. What is visibly enchanted upon Blarg's person?
So his sword glows. His cloak glows just like the other dwarfs. His glows with illusion magic. I don't know what the sword is. Evocation, enchantment.
Is it like a plus something whip? Oh, you've got the firebrand or whatever,
Yeah, except
flamethrower.
it's acid. It's an acid tongue short sword.
Yeah, bro.
Interesting. I'm
And then
guessing
his-
that'll be conjuration probably.
And then his slippers glow.
Slippers, give me those.
That's not because of magic though. They just have a
They just
shine.
Well, no,
glow.
that's the aura you normally see.
They're gnarly.
These actually glow of magic too.
Oh.
Not just the gnarl, the fine toothsome smell of his gnarly, sticky footwear. Excellent. Eridith, does anything visibly
should be-
make itself known?
Should be no surprise, but his bow glows.
Yep.
His long sword also probably faintly glows.
Yep. Hebony?
Hebney, underneath the wrappings around his arms and his cloak, he has a glow coming out on his braziers that he wears. They're sort of like these, I don't know, some sort of an alloy metal. And then he's got a warhammer, and his cloak both give off an essence of magic, protective magic on the cloak and the braziers.
Nice. Okay. So, Daryl, that is what you, or Lord Gonzo, whatever it is, Daryl, you...
Brother Gonzo.
Brother Gonzo. That's what you noticed.
Differentiate from Dr. Gonzo.
Doctor,
So,
yes, different. What is there any interesting things to note about the way you cast Detect Magic?
No, I mean, he's usually, most of his spells that he casts, he usually will put his head down. These are non-attack spells.
Mm-hmm.
So usually attack spells or offensive spells, he's usually much more thematic with his hands and whatnot. But this is more of just almost like a bowing of his head, prayer. Sometimes he'll need to go to his tomb, his book of that he carries around. Not necessarily the book is more for a prayer more than anything else, but in this case, that's all he knows this one so well that he just has to kind of bow his head, say a few words. He'll raise his hand, and then he'll keep his eyes closed, and he'll almost feel for the magic as opposed to see it. But obviously, things will glow.
Nice.
Nice. So with that, Daryl kind of turns to the group and says, "It doesn't appear that these either the archway or the tree seem to have great powers associated with them. I would still be careful, and I might still be able to help one of you if you decide that you want to proceed forward with either investigating it further through touch or moving through it. But let me know if that's the way that you want to proceed."
I think we need to figure out how to activate it.
Daryl agrees. He's unclear, but he's worried that activation of it might cause harm.
No.
whoever's attempting to activate it.
I think it'll send Presto home.
Daryl kind of looks at our wizard and just kind of, again, doesn't know what to make of this poor guy being told that he's a wizard when we know that he really isn't a wizard. And anyways, the magic that he has, it's kind of, it's nothing like Daryl's magic. Arcane magic is, it's not from the gods, so he doesn't really think much of it.
Well, I don't know that we need to get into that pissing match right now.
Subpar magic.
Wow.
Subpar magic.
Wow.
It's confusing. We've got, more than one name. People don't know what our jobs are. I don't even know what I'm doing around here anymore. Let's look at this tree, though. This tree really fascinates me.
So as you guys are all standing there talking, and I kind of picture you maybe 10, 15 feet in, maybe halfway toward the tree, standing there talking in a group. To the right of you as you're facing the tree, and to the left of you as you're facing the tree, there's this quick and sudden movement in the tangle, the overgrowth, the thorny, shrubby stuff, and the vines. And Blarg, make me a strength saving throw, and Daryl, you as well. Daryl, you're kind of on the left, and something has come at you. Blarg, same. And you see this movement, this tangle of like roots and vines. Everything kind of springs up, like the plants have come alive. And in particular, Blarg and Daryl, you have like a vine or a root kind of coming at you.
I got a 17.
Okay.
And Daryl getting 11.
Okay. Daryl, you are restrained as these shoots and roots kind of make their way, wrap around your legs and up your waist, and pull at you. Blarg, you manage to maybe see it and nimbly and strongly, brute force, resist the attempt to restrain you. And I will ask the party to please roll initiative.
Yes.
That would be...
Those bunny slippers are amazing.
Ooh.
All right, 25 to 20. I'll take that as a nobody. 20 to 15.
Large got a 19.
Whew. Wow.
No other 20 to 15s? Blarg, 19. Okay, 15 to 10?
14
Yep.
for Hebney.
Daryl got a 13.
And Meredith got a 10.
Typical for a wizard.
Yeah, I was looking at my spell book. Wait, I'm not a wizard. Too busy rubbing my temples and not paying attention.
Meredith. 10 in Baldwin has a 6. Because me and my D20 things. Okay. So you've all been kind of startled, spooked. You've seen these roots and vines just all kind of come alive around you. And in particular, Daryl has been restrained. And so that is your condition for the time being, Daryl. And Blarg, you have escaped restrainment, and it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, do I see it?
Yeah, you see what looks to be sort of a mass of dark vines with thorns and things upon them. Yeah.
And how far away is it?
It is about 10 feet to your right, and it has moved towards you. So I'm going to say within 5 feet, you could easily melee it from where you are.
So then I'm going to bonus action my sword. So Blarg whispers Shar, and the blade gets enveloped in a green, almost fiery like light.
Yep.
And then I'm going to stabby it,
Okay.
hopefully.
Yeah, as you're doing that, it almost turns into, like, it starts to kind of rise from the floor of the overgrown clearing, almost taking on this plant-like, roughly humanoid shape, human-sized-ish, and vines and shoots and roots and things. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going. Let's see. Let me get to the right page. Here we go. So that was a 1 plus 5 is 6. Does a plus 2 help me?
6 plus 2 is 8. It does not.
All right, then I won't use that.
No.
Yeah, so I
gotcha.
missed.
Roger that.
Used up all my good rolls on the save and initiative. I'm out for tonight.
Oh,
All right. Very good. So from Blarg, we move to Hebney. Hebney, you're about maybe 5 feet ahead of this. I kind of see, if I'm looking down over a circular map, I've kind of got Daryl, Baldwin, and Blarg in kind of a straight line. And on either side of that are these viney humanoid sort of creatures that have sort of come to life. Behind them is Erideth, and immediately in front of them is you. You kind of went in first, closest to the tree sort of a thing. But I have you all in kind of a 15-foot-ish, roughly, kind of radius of one another around Baldwin.
how close are we to? How close am I to the tree?
You're probably 10 feet or so from the tree.
So Hebney, as they were walking in, this all started to happen. Hebney was very focused on the tree. Is there anything coming from the tree or anything in front of us, or is all the action sort of at Hebney's flanks?
So you're focusing your visuals on the tree and then maybe turning to see what's happening behind you. So go ahead and maybe roll investigation as you scan the tree. You seem to be fascinated by this hoary old
16
oak.
total.
Are you a forest gnome or a rock gnome?
I am a rock gnome.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't just the closer you get, it's a little disconcerting. It's so old and twisted, and if a tree could look evil somehow, you're glad you're not walking through this thing alone in the dark. It's a very disturbing visage, but it's it's not moving or anything. It's just very like off-putting.
Okay. Well, in that case, he'll turn, see Brother Gonzo being restrained. It really makes him mad, and he's gonna rage.
Okay.
And then he's gonna close the distance by jumping.
Yeah,
as
you
far
got
as
like
he can.
5-8 feet to go. Not far at all. It's kind of as you're facing the tree, it's back and to your left, so you spin around.
Okay. Just lunge forward, pulling out his warhammer in the air, and just being like, "This is bullshit," and tries to smash it.
Okay. Yeah, and you see the same thing
what?
I described
I
to
should do this,
Blarg. It's kind of risen up out of the ground, and the vines have wrapped around to form this vaguely humanoid-ish.
I'm going to do this the right way, guys, because I always forget about this when it's been a while, but I am a wild magic barbarian, so I do have a wild magic surge that happens when I rage. So I roll a d12 and I get, until my rage ends, I am surrounded by a multicolored protective lights. I gain a +1 to my AC. And while within 10 feet of me, all the allies get a +1 as well.
Nice.
Oh, could I see that, please? Nice. That is cool. Describe this radiance for us as you begin to do your thing and rage. What does everybody see as this happens?
You guys really, it's kind of multicolored, but the predominant hue is red. He is seeing red, and it's just pulsing. And if you were to look him in the eye, you would see his eyes are just like glazed over with red. The veins are popping in his eyes. It's just this red pulse. Swings his hammer down. Oh shit, that's not very good. That's only going to be a 12 to hit.
That does hit. It appears to be plant material. Viney, thorny roots.
God.
So yeah, do some damage to this thing.
Okay, so that is going to be 12 plus my rage, which is what? A couple extra things of damage, I think, right?
Despite all my rage, I'm still
+2. So 14 magical bludgeoning damage.
14 magical bludgeoning damage. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so you just hear the snap and crick and crush as you bring your hammer down through this massive apparent hedge that's kind of come to life and wrapped itself into a humanoid, and it's clutching your companion, Brother Gonzo, Daryl Nimblebottom.
All right. As I land and as I hit it and then I land, I kind of take his defensive position next to Brother Gonzo and just wait to see what happens next.
Okay. Daryl, you feel a shudder as these impossibly tight tendrils of root and dry, scratchy, thorny vines constrict upon you. And it, you could just feel that this thing has taken some pain from Hebney's blow of his hammer. And he stands there defensive, postured beside you, and it's your turn, actually.
Okay. Daryl is going to try to break free of his grip, but he's also going to use advantage. So one of the advantages.
You may use your action to do so. Okay. Make me a strength check.
Yep.
Trying to hit 12 or higher, DC 12.
So 16.
That'll do it. So yeah, you managed to, they cut into you and tear at you, and you're itchy. You know that when you accidentally roll around in the grass without a shirt or wearing shorts, and you got that those little itchy, thorn scratches, and yeah. But you managed to free yourself, so your action is used.
And then I still have some movement.
You do have movement. You are in difficult terrain, and that is now the case for the entire party because of this energy,
Sure.
this life that has all of a sudden come to the overgrowth.
And if I look in the directions around me, is the vines everywhere, or are they coming from a certain area? Meaning that if
They
I
were
move,
just left of you, and now
Okay.
there's this humanish, roughly human-shaped vine man, for lack of a better term, kind of hulking over you to the left,
Okay.
to your immediate left, because he was just restraining you. Yeah,
and
you
if
have
I can I
Baldwin
move
to your
like
right
12,
and Hebney right in front of you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
can I move to the right 12 feet? But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that will provoke an attack from him.
It would be, he could use his reaction to attack you.
Okay. I'm still going to do it because he's, it sounds like he's a big vine man. So it's not like he's got a lot of reach to him. It doesn't sound like, at least. So I'll still do it. I'll move away.
Yeah.
And then Hebney's magic, remind me again what that provided me. Did that provide me
Plus-
anything?
Yeah, +1 to AC if you're within 10 feet of Hebney.
And you're
cool.
the closest party member.
And I'm
But
still,
actually,
so,
everybody is within 10 feet of Hebney. The party was standing there talking, and you had all come in. So
Yep.
until someone kind of races out of the formation you're in.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Hebney like right in front of Daryl. Immediately to your right is Baldwin. Immediately to his right is Blarg. Immediately to his right is the other Vine dude. And then right behind them is Eredith.
Okay, perfect. So I will move 12 feet away from the vine man.
Okay.
And it's the end of my turn.
So you could be over kind of between Blarg and Baldwin.
Correct.
And this guy will attempt to constrict you. So a vine shoots out at you as you begin to scurry away.
Okay.
And does AC 6.
No.
I'm so
AC
close.
18.
Or 18, right. Yeah, very good. Okay. So this vine just kind of whacks at you, and it looked like it was trying to grab you, and it misses. And so you are now between Baldwin and Blarg.
Nice.
Very nice. Okay, anything else?
That's all I'm going to do.
Okay. The vine is going to attempt to attack the gnome. That is a 14. Okay, so
Nope,
same type of thing. A couple of vines kind of reach out and try to constrict you and catch you, and you manage to shrug them off. And so yes, and it merely steps, kind of ambles slowly. It only has 10 feet of movement, and so it really kind of remains in your square, Hebney, but it's moving toward Baldwin and is right beside Baldwin. Does that kind of make sense? So it's gone from your kind of forward right to your forward left, and Baldwin is a little further left than that, and Daryl's beside him, and Blarg is beside him, because you're facing the opposite way of the party.
That's Podka for those of you who.
Yeah. Podka is Baldwin's code name, yes. The other vine is going to attempt to attack Blarg. Again, it just, kind of presses in on you, and you see vines shoot out from it, and they're trying to grab you.
So it's at disadvantage because of my cloak.
Okay. In that case, I will assume that a 6 also misses you.
It does.
Okay. From about 10 foot forward and beyond the one that's on Blarg, so further to the northeast, you see it kind of begin to spring up out of the brush and move 10 feet so that it is in the same square as the one that just attempted to attack you. So now there are 2 on you. And
so there's 3 total.
3 total, yep. And it is going to also attempt to attack you.
It's still at disadvantage.
Right, and I'm going to burn a DM advantage, and so it's rolling a single D20. And that is a 19 on the die for a total of 23.
That does hit.
Okay. So yeah, this vine like fwaps you, FWAP, fwap really hard, and then wraps around your shoulders and begins to constrict. And you take 8, because 6 just wasn't enough. So 8 bludgeoning damage, and you are restrained. That is exciting.
That it restrains me. It restrains me without a save, right? Just
Correct.
because it hits me.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now you can, because this doesn't. Oh no, you're grappled. I'm sorry. You are grappled, and you can use your action when it's your turn to escape that grapple. But while you've been grappled, you are restrained.
Restrained.
Yes, because that is the outcome of grapple. Almost missed that. So that thing has kind of tied you up. Hebney, you see out of the corner of your eye, almost kind of behind you, coming toward the space where the viney dude vacated, another one on your side, and it's going to attempt to do to you what the other one did to your goblin-y friend. And that is a 21.
That will indeed hit me.
Okay. So that is 10, and you have been grappled and are presently restrained, and that 10 is bludgeoning, damage of the bludgeoning variety.
All right.
And it is essentially moved into the space where the last one vacated.
You said 10 bludgeoning?
Yeah.
Okay, so rage, I take half. Okay, great.
10 bludgeon. Yeah, nice. Rage is cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
Plus you get shiny light with AC bonus. Also excellent.
Yeah.
That's cool. Good. Okay, that ends the turn with these dudes, these vine dudes. Arideth, you're seeing all of this. Just all of a sudden, there's these 4 vinely humanoid things. One has Blarg restrained. You saw Daryl break a restraint, and now Hebney is restrained. And they appear to have been injured as well in the act of constricting and restraining. What would you like to do?
Okay. So first there was the one that had, taken damage, and
Yes,
kind of see this all
that
kind of
one's
play
right
across.
beside Baldwin, almost right in
So you
front of
kind
you.
of see this all play across my face. I was looking at that one, and then I saw the one spring up and grab Grog. And I was like, shit. And then I see the one. Then I look over back and I see one grab Hebney, and I'm like, damn it. And then I will, because I'm not a wizard, I will cast Flame Bolt at the one restraining Blarg.
Pretty wizardy. It's pretty wizard.
Not
Okay.
a wizard. Not a wizard.
Not a wizard, but Flame Bolt.
Flame Bolt. And whenever I do cast this limited magic I've got for just a moment, granted, I'm always pale and gaunt looking, but anyone looking would see really starts to kind of shrivel up a little bit and will take on more of the Shotterkai appearance from when he's back home. It's just a side effect of using this magic.
That's not disturbing. Totally cool.
Not at
Everything
all.
is fine.
Everything's fine. There's a third.
It's like the guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark when he like
Just a little bit.
shrivel up into this
The
weird
wax.
mannequin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not quite that bad.
Wax
Not quite
melt.
that bad. I rolled a 13, which is more than 12 by my count.
13 will be sufficient to break armor class on Blarg's attacker, also known as Vine number 4.
And I'm
Vine dude
guessing
number
that
4.
as a plant-based or whatever this is, he's not going to really like 7 points of fire damage.
I will note that. Yes. Okay. Is there any text in your spell that states that flammable things ignite?
On a hit targeting a flammable object hit by the spell ignites if it isn't being worn or carried. Is anyone wearing or carrying these creatures?
I'm wearing one.
Yeah, Blarg is actually wearing one, but I'm going to overrule that and
Okay.
say that this would still catch fire, which is good and bad because Blarg now has a flaming vine dude that has constricted him and is squeezing you very hard, skinny goblin guy.
You're welcome.
Okay, don't let me forget that you've ignited that, Arideth, because on its turn, I think I will roll. Does it tell you how much fire damage it takes from being ignited? It's either D4 or D6.
It does not. So I think you just assume 100 points.
Mm,
I think so.
makes sense.
Hopefully,
It
it puts
doesn't
itself
say.
out and drops me.
No, it does not say.
Okay.
Just,
All right.
It ignites. So
Very good. Okay.
if you want just to roll or
En
whatever. No.
Fuego. Yeah, when I get around to the Vine Dude's turn, don't forget that Vine Dude number 4, that happens to be restraining Blarg, has caught fire. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well played.
Whoever's giving these Vine Dudes code names really sucks at it.
Yeah, it's not real creative, is it?
No, it's
That's
not.
right. Vine Man number 4.
They need a mastermind.
Yeah,
Gino. Fine Man 4's Gino.
Gino.
That's right.
Okay, that brings us around to the mighty Baldwin O'Farrell, who looks at his companions in trouble, seeing the closest one to him is actually Blarg, and the thing that was holding him just caught fire. Let's see. He will raise his battle axe and attempt to do battle axe things to this thing. And he's going to go two-handed to use it in a versatile manner and take a mighty swing as he steps forward and, by the beard of Clangadin, thing or whatever. Or maybe it's Moradin. 11 plus 3 is 14. Yeah, that's a hit. D10 plus 1. That is 50. Oh, that was a D100. That's 5. Plus 1 is 6. Okay. So he does 6 damage to this this vine dude, and just hacks a few vines and limbs off of it as it flames and smolders and hisses and writhes and squeezes Blarg even harder, because you can feel the shiver go through this thing, Blarg, when it is chopped, and you also heard it hiss and splutter when it had been hit by the firebolt and lit, and you'd swear you heard it say ouch in common. And that brings us to your turn, back to the top of the order. What would you like to do? You currently find yourself delightfully restrained.
It is delightful. Can I attack it?
Let's see here.
You could give it a code name and give it
Furious.
some psychic damage.
Are we restrained or grappled?
Restrained.
both?
They grappled you to restrain you.
Oh, shoot.
I know that reads kind of funny. Larger, smaller
Sort-
target is grappled. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained. So I suppose you're both.
Okay. So we have disadvantage on attacks.
So
while we're
you're
restrained.
incapacitated. Condition. Oh no, I'm reading it wrong.
No.
Stupid
God, I hope
dungeon
not.
master. Condition ends if the grappler. I just saw incapacitated and got really excited.
I got nervous.
Yes, your speed is 0, and you are attacking at disadvantage, and attacks have advantage against you.
Attacks have advantage.
Yeah, so Blarg, what would you like to do? You may attack. You can use your action to attempt to unrestrain yourself with a strength check.
So I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to use my advantage, and I'm going to attack it.
Okay, so you're attacking with a regular D20 roll, my friend. You're attacking the flaming vine dude who is currently restraining you, correct? That would be vine dude number 4.
Yep. All right. Now, what did I do with my thing? Here we go. All right. Oh, I got another 1, but plus 5 is 6. I guess a plus 2 doesn't help me.
Nah, and a nat 1 is a nat 1, so
That's 2 in a row.
you should stop that.
Yeah.
You have a bonus action and 0 movement.
I have a bonus action. What can I do with a bonus? I don't think I can do anything. Wait. No, I could. I can't dash. I can't hide, I guess.
You can talk to him in a funny language.
I mean, you are, after all, a linguist.
Yeah, that's true.
Try and dazzle him with your tongue.
Some value in that.
Get them all
think,
confused. Razzle dazzle with the.
Razzle dazzle.
I think I won't do anything else. I think that was enough, really.
That was really just enough.
Can't you reason with them? You're a linguist, for God's
I
sakes.
know.
No, I'm not, but I'm not a reasonist.
Oh.
So I'm done.
Okay. I'll take that
Literally.
as your turn is
Literally.
over. And
Literally.
we will then swing over to our other restrained player character, Hebney Cragbeam. Meanwhile, back at the Raging Gnome Barian.
Yeah, I hate this shit. So I took damage, so I can get away with not attacking this round, and I can still maintain my rage. Is the way I understand it. My first barbarian, guys. Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'm gonna try to break out of the this restrained condition.
Okay. That seems fair.
So do I roll? What do I roll to do that?
Strength check. DC
All right,
12.
I'm gonna burn one of my advantages. Thank you to the chat for that last time.
Yes.
Strength saving throw, or
Yes.
strength check.
Strength check.
Got it. Strength check. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a dirty 20.
Yeah, you're good, man. So you kind of slough off the very tightly constricting vines.
And then I'm going to use my movement to kind of climb up as high as I can on the vine and get ready to attack next round.
Okay, man. Yeah, he's probably 6.5 feet tall, and it's easily climbed because all the vines and the handholds very easy to do. So you all see Hebney start to climb his assailant. There is one sort of behind you. There are 2 on your side and 2 on Blarg's side. Daryl, you're between Blarg and Baldwin. Sorry, man, me and names. I just cannot remember names. What would you like to do, Daryl? It is your turn.
So Daryl's gonna. So the 2 that have friends that are hurt or being grappled right now, and 2 don't. Correct.
So yes, the first one that came after you and held you was hurt, and that one is right beside Baldwin.
Okay.
The one that has Hebney or had Hebney is uninjured.
Okay.
The one that came alive and attacked Blarg is injured, and the other one that's over there is uninjured.
Okay. So Daryl is going to, again, at this point, he's going to become a little bit more animated. He'll raise both hands to the kind of sky and call for Flanaess as God, and he will cast Spiritual Weapon.
Oh, nice.
And at that point, what you'll see when this happens is he's got his warhammer on his back, and it'll be almost like this replica that comes off his back from the hammer, but it's twice the size. So it kind of raises up over him of the actual hammer. And the hammer will try to go after and strike the one that has grappled Blarg.
Very well.
Okay. And let's see. Man, 9.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
And a
And
plus
so
2 will not get you there.
Okay. Question,
Yes.
Scott. So on my first casting of this, do I also get I can use it on a bonus action on my first cast of it?
Yes,
as well?
it can attack when you summon it. Absolutely.
Okay. So he will use his bonus action to cast it, or to try to attack again, the same one that is again
The injured one that's holding on to Blarg.
it's on to Blarg.
Yep,
And
the
so
one that's on fire, by the way.
correct. Yep. And this one is a 22.
That is absolutely a hit.
Good. And then let's see what we got for damage. 4 points.
Okay, noted.
And that is going to be his turn.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
That brings us to the Vine Dudes. The first one is going to attack Baldwin. Let's see. Baldwin missed with his attack, didn't he? Yeah, because I rolled a 6. Okay, let's try to make sure I got this right. First of all, the one on Blarg is on fire. I'm going to roll a d6 fire damage. That's a 6. Wow, how about that? Oh, nice. How fortunate. Okay. So the one that is over closest to Baldwin will make a. Looks like it's trying to, again, whap him with a vine or a limb and grab him. And that is a 10, and I'm pretty sure that's not even close, but let's just have a look. Yeah, that's a miss. The second one that is over by Blarg, it is going to move and try to attack Daryl. And that is a 12.
Yes.
Okay, the third one. That is the one that had a hold of Hebney, who Hebney is on him, basically. So he's going to, you're going to feel vines try to constrict around you, Hebney.
Okay.
19, so that's probably a 23 is probably going to hit.
Yes.
'Cause I
even
get a
with my
+4.
rage bonus. Yep.
Okay. Yep, 23. So again, you find yourself grappled. 8 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And you are,
Reduced to 4.
by all accounts, you are restrained. Did.
Ugh.
I want to see something.
Freedom!
Real quick. Freedom. Come on, D&D Beyond. Let's be a little faster. There we go. I want to see something here real quick. Damn it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you do have to use your action to try to escape that. I was trying to see if you got like a reaction or something in the action economy of combat, because normally a grapple is a contested strength kind of a thing, but when it's a special feature of an attack by a monster, you have to use your action to escape. So you're essentially restrained again. And I think that was all my dude. Oh, the one that has Blarg is going to attempt to attack you, and it gets to do so at advantage because you are restrained by it.
I still have my cloak, which gives me disadvantage against attackers.
Ooh.
Fine.
You gave it to me.
Dirty 20.
Damn it.
I'll take that as a yes. That's 10 grapplage bludgeoning.
Oh dear.
And you are you're even more restrained than you were before, but it's still the same strength check to escape, should you choose to do so. That is the Vine's turn. Eridith, you are up.
Okay. Seeing as how the fire seemed to be pretty darn effective against the plant baddies, if only I was a wizard, but I'm not. But I'll still cast Firebolt again.
Okay. Same one or a different one? The one holding Blarg has taken some good damage,
right,
including the burning and firing and all of that.
Right. But he's also dealing out some damage.
It is.
to Blarg
Yes.
at the same time.
Blarg and Hebney are kind of taking the
wait a
brunt
minute.
of this.
Wait, I'm a fighter. I can action surge. I can do that. Oh, okay. So, wow, you're really going to see me not wizard this time. So, Firebolt at the one holding Blarg.
Okay, fair enough. AC 12?
How about an 18? Does that beat your 12?
That will beat the 12. Yes. Well
Does
done.
beat the 12. Come on. No. Oh, stay on 7. Sure. 3.
3. Okay, so describe for me how this vine dude
Yay!
expires.
So you see the thing, it's burning, and it's got Blarg, and you see Eridith, and the camera zips around behind the thing as I'm throwing another mote of fire, and you just see a hole open up, and it burns the thing where I hit it, just burns it out.
Nice. Yeah, so Blarg, you feel another intense wave of heat as a mote of fire comes right at you and strikes the thing right above
Right
your
over
head.
your head.
Yeah. And immediately the vines release and it falls off of you in a burning pile of viney thorn root bough. hissing and squirming and squealing as it expires. Say goodbye to Vine Dude number 4. You were a good Vine Dude.
I'm gonna action surge, but now
just got us a big old
Daryl
raid.
Oh,
Ebony had climbed up the one. Yeah, had climbed up the one, but now he's grappled. But I mean, do I have a clear shot, or is it basically the Vine Dude's holding him right up?
No, you can make a shot. Yeah,
I can make a shot.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're at an angle. It's kind of facing Hebney away.
Okay.
You've got an angle. No, good
I
question.
didn't want to throw it right at Hebney. So in that case, let's turn up the heat with a dirty 20.
That will hit. Got a bunch of raiders coming over from Blue Box. Thank you very much, John from Blue Box and crew. They were playing D&D all afternoon in their game. We are in the Rakers looking for the lost dwarven ruins of Kundrukar, playing Forge of Fury, if you're familiar with Ancient People's Greyhawk D&D. And the party is being attacked by some vine humanoid plant things in this gnarly, dark-looking old ring of oaks. And it's very scary right now because people are getting hammered by vines. All right, so you hit. What was your damage, Meredith?
I rolled that is a full 10 points of damage right there.
Okay, and we've got fire associated with that as well, correct?
We do.
So you have engulfed the Vine Dude that happens to be restraining Hebney. It was the one you fired at the one that's on Hebney, right?
No, is he 1, 2, or 3?
That's Vine Dude number 3, but it was the one that was holding Hebney, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's Vine Dude number 3. Yes. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay, so Baldwin is going to make a mighty swing with his axe, and I'm going to go ahead and burn a DM advantage to see if I can get old Baldwin to score a hit. Two-handed battle axe swing at this viney creature that is trying to attack him. And that is dual 10s for a 14, and that would be a hit. And that is, what does he get? A +1, I believe. Yeah, so 5 points of choppy chop. And that is Vine Dude number 1, the original Vine Dude. Okay.
OG.
And Baldwin's going to stay right there, the OG Vine Dude, yeah. Hebney, you are currently... excuse me, Blarg, I apologize. Top of the order is Blarg. Blarg, you are currently now back on your feet. You're wounded from having been grappled and gripped by this awful vine thing. And you are free to do whatever you wish. You can move, you can attack. There's one right in front of you that had just tried to take a chunk out of Daryl.
Where's the one that's got Hebney?
That one is about 20 feet or so from you, back to the west.
Yeah, so I can't make that.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
You're in difficult terrain. Everybody's in difficult terrain because of the vegetation has all come alive, and it's a very surreal, unsettling scene that has begun to play out.
Well, I'm gonna stab the one that's right in front of me.
Okay, that seems reasonable. That would be Vine Dude number 2.
Vine Dude number 2. Oh, that's a 15.
That's a hit, man.
Yay. All right, so I do, all right, 4 points of piercing damage.
Is that a dagger?
It's a short sword.
Short sword, that's right.
Yeah, I just roll crappy damage. And then I get 2d6.
Acid.
And that's 8 acid.
Oh.
And then I assume there is someone within 5 feet of me, an ally.
Yeah. Well, actually, it has to be within 5 feet of the guy that you're stabbing.
Yeah, you're right.
Because you're a rogue. You're trying to invoke a sneak attack, right?
Indeed, I am.
Well, the gods smile upon you with good fortune as Daryl Nimblebottom was just attacked in melee by this creature you're attacking, which puts him within 5 feet of your enemy.
Sweet.
Granting
So he gets
you sneak attack damage, yes.
So that's 9 sneak attack.
Holy cow. So Vine Dude number 2, you just dealt some serious damage.
Yeah, I think so. Take that, Vine Dude number 2.
17 damages you did. That's
No, I did more than that.
No, wait, what did you do? 8
I
plus...
did 17,
Oh,
18,
you did.
19,
He
20,
was undamaged.
21.
Yeah, you did 21. You've done all the damage to him. Yeah, he started at 0. I was
You
thinking...
want me to tell you how you want me to describe how I killed him?
No.
No. You sure?
That would
Yes,
be.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Um,
But I appreciate your optimism.
sure.
Anything else you'd like to do?
That's all I got. Yeah, I think I want to. I think I'm going to. Well, am I?
Do it.
I think I'm going to bonus action one of these healing potions.
Yep. In our game, you may imbibe a potion as a bonus action because I am a benevolent and kind dungeon master. Sorta.
Yeah, sort
It's
of.
a stretch, I know, Dave. Yeah, it's a stretch. All right, so go ahead and heal thyself.
So 6 plus 2 is 8.
Wow.
Right, and then because we're playing, edgier rules, you only get half that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're not
That's-
playing that edgy.
Hold a little.
Ouch. Yeah. No, you're good. So you feel the warmth course through your body as you glug 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 the very viscous pink liquid, and you feel a couple of your like God, you'd swear this dude like dislocated a shoulder or squeezed you so tight. You just feel things kind of knit and move back into place as the healing magics do what they do, and you receive 8 points of healing. Anything else?
All right, that's all I got.
Okay, now it is Hebney's turn. Hebney, you are currently being hugged and restrained by a very, very unhappy, flaming Vine Dude number 2, who's taken significant damage. Oh, no, wait. You got Vine Dude number 3.
I don't think he's on fire yet, is he?
No, yours isn't. No, actually,
makes me
yours
mad.
is. Yours is
Yeah.
from Meredith, yes.
That's the one I hit.
Yeah, so
Still
it is hot and burning smell, smoky wood burning, and very constrictive. What do you do?
Hebney looks back at Meredith. Good job, wizard! And he reaches in, he grabs a flask, and he puts the cork of the flask in his teeth. And he's going to dump a flask of oil on top of Vine Dude number 3 that's got him. Let's get this bonfire going.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my.
Wow. You're going to make me adjudicate trickiness. Hey, thanks for that sub, John. I appreciate you supporting us. 16 months. You're just an all-around pretty good dude there, my friend. Thank you very much for that support. That also gives the party another +2 to use should they need it. So, okay, so you have dumped oil onto a flaming thing.
So the oil flask says that I need to
Scott
make a...
opens his DM guide.
Yes, oil. Okay.
How do I do this?
Splash the oil or throw it 20 feet, shattering. Okay, on a hit, target is covered with oil. You dumped it on it, so I think we can easily waive the attack roll. I just don't see why we would need to do that.
Okay.
I just don't. I just rule of cool. If the target takes any fire damage before the oil dries. Okay, so it's additional fire damage of 5.
Yep.
Is the way I'm reading that.
the
Is that how
next
you're
minute.
reading that?
Yep, for the next minute. Anytime it takes fire damage, it takes additional 5.
Man, you're a dick with that oil. Okay. Now, I'm going to roll percentile dice because you just poured oil all over this dude who's restrained you.
Yep.
And I'm going to give you a 30% chance of some of the oil getting on you and thereby igniting your clothing and causing you to burn.
So,
Because-
Scott, I thought you were going to say you're going to give him a 30% chance that he's now slippery and he kind of slides out
Well,
of his boot.
if we end up with a number between 1 and 30, then not only will he be on fire, but he will in fact be slippery as well.
Ooh,
A
so it's not only
slippery
is it
on
oil,
fire
it's
guy.
it's oil and lube at the same
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, it's everything, man. This is a full
I
service
like it.
game mastering.
Oh,
So,
so good.
30% chance of
This
And I
ignition.
episode brought
rolled
to you by. Oh, never
a
mind.
24.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. So now you are covered in oil. Whoa, there's some bits.
Ah,
Holy shizzle, man! Thank you, John. Good
thanks,
grief,
Blue Box.
man. I'm
Wow.
gonna give everybody in the party an advantage for that donation. Thank you, John. That's very kind of
Hooray.
you. Very, very generous.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you, buddy. So I'm gonna say that you now have oil on you.
Okay.
And you're restrained by a flaming thing. So next turn, you will take that 5 damage. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay. Was that my action to do all that?
Yeah, I would say because you're like, and you're restrained, and
Yeah.
you're all like, in the absence of making you roll an attack roll, I'm gonna say you can go ahead and accomplish that as your action.
Okay.
Nice.
As the oil drips all over me, I'll use my bonus action to say, "Ah, shit!"
Nice. All right. I'm going to give John a shout out, even though everybody just came from there, but I just feel like I have to let him know that I do have a shout out command built in there. So if you've never been to Blue Box, get over there and see him. They play D&D on Sunday afternoons. They play D&D on Tuesday afternoons. They're in the world of Greyhawk. And then on Wednesday nights, he and I think Phantom NJ is still lurking somewhere around here. Those guys drop all kind of cool lore and stuff with a Lore Masters Arcanum kind of a talk show on their Twitch channel. So check them out. They are a stalwart of the Greyhawk and Greater Dungeons and Dragons community. So thank you very much for your support, brother. And he also hosts a couple hundred people at his house every summer for Blue Box Con. So, that's pretty cool. Or a couple thousand, maybe. It could be 1,000 now. Who knows? Okay, so you have succeeded in coating your outer garments kind of down the front of you with oil, and it's likely that'll probably ignite at the start of your next turn.
I'm not sure I'd call that a success, but okay.
Yeah, but you did make the vine dude kind of have some more flaming issues. You stoked the flames.
It burns.
Daryl, you have before you a deceased burning pile of Vine Dude number 4, a living Vine Dude number 2 who is hissing and recoiling from this just all-out barrage from Blarg with his short sword, flame tongue, actually acid tongue. What do you do? This thing is writhing and coiling and seething, very, very bitter and angry. What would you like to do?
But he's not on fire.
No, he has been damaged not only with the blade, the expertise with the blade, but the acid that is kind of issuing from the blade.
Okay. And the one that is on fire is Vine Man number 3.
Yes, and that's the one that has Hebney.
That's the one. And he's how far away from me?
So Vine Man number 3 is behind you by about 15 feet. The other guy that Blarg is fighting that tried to attack you, Vine Man number 2, is right. You're kind of next to Blarg, and it's in melee with both of you.
Okay. So Daryl will he'll actually attack the one that's on fire to try to save Hebney, because the other one is not necessarily it hasn't grappled anyone, the one that's closest. So he'll use his movement to get over to the one that's next to Blarg, and then he will use his Warhammer, and so he will try and strike the one that's next to Blarg. So he'll peel it off his back, and this is using both hands. He will with one hand. With one hand, he'll try and strike the one that's next to Blarg.
Yeah.
He'll scream out a war cry to Flanaess, and he got a 10.
If you use one of your +2s,
Yes,
you're in.
I will.
Those +2s, they may seem insignificant.
Yep, I like it.
But so when we get those subs and follows, man, the party accumulates those +2s and makes a difference. So you have hit the Vine Dude number 2. Yeah, you almost
that's
feel
like
this
his,
crackling energy, almost as if a lightning bolt has come from the skies to empower your spell from
it's like
Vilnius.
his IMDb is like Vine Man number 2.
Yeah,
So okay, so we're
I
gonna
can't
take.
I can't push him into the lightning bolt, can I?
I am Groot.
We could cure him right here and now.
Damage is 9,
Okay, tell me how
and
you do
then
this.
it's that's all I
Yeah,
need.
what was your spell? Shocking Grasp?
No, this was just his Warhammer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you cast
Yep.
a spell. Yeah.
No, but I still have a little bit of. I got my bonus action for my spiritual weapon still.
Yes, you do.
So do you want me to use him first, or describe how we're gonna?
Go ahead and make your kill. Describe how you end Vine Man number 2.
Okay, so Vine Man number 2. Again, Daryl's kind of screaming, and then he takes his hammer, and it's pretty much in the midsection of him, and he'll come right through him, and it will splinter like kind of just like almost like driving a car into like a barn. The thing is just like just massive amounts of splintered wood that's flying everywhere.
Yeah, so
And he crumbles.
yeah, and he does. He just breaks off. Limbs break off, and it just falls to the into the overgrowth, and drops dead at your feet. So you have a bonus action with which
Yes.
to do something. What would you like to do? There are still
So
two
my-
of them kind of behind you by one is about 10 feet away in melee with Baldwin, and the other one is still flaming and restraining Ebony.
Yep. So spiritual weapon is going to go after the one that's flaming with Hebney. And let me. So with again, while we've been fighting, this kind of massive warhammer has been floating around.
Yes.
It's kind of like a glowing bluish hue that kind of pulsates in the air above us.
Yeah.
And it's going to come in for a strike, and that is a 15.
That'll hit, and you're targeting the one that's restraining Hebney that's in
Correct.
flames,
Yep.
right?
And then damage on that one is 5 points.
Okay. Let's see. So 5 more to Vine Dude number 3. Very good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm picturing this thing just weaving and bobbing, and it just comes over. You get 20 feet of movement with spiritual weapon, and drops the hammer, quite literally, on Vine Dude number 3. And I'd like to thank Mind Crim and Judith 1995 for the follow. Appreciate that very much. Welcome aboard. That'll get you a couple of +2s for the party. You guys have 35 of them, so
All right.
very handy. I've had a couple times there have been like major events transpire because you were just this close and the +2 got you over the hump. So Daryl, do you have any movement you'd like to take? The one that you hit is still up.
Yeah, so I think I took my movement to get over to the actual first one that I hit with the Warhammer. So
Right,
I'm not
that's
sure.
right.
Do I have any movement?
You
now?
you did not have to move to do that.
Okay.
Because you were in melee with it, so you could turn and move over to Hebney or to Baldwin.
Yeah, he'll move over closer to. Actually, he's gonna move over closer to the one that's next to Hebney, because that one. To Baldwin, because that one's not on fire. Correct.
Correct, and looks to be maybe the least
Damaged.
wounded. Yes, correct.
Yep. So
I mean, it's hard telling. There are these vine things,
Sure.
But
yeah, he'll move over that one to start seeing if he can whack away at that one.
Got you. Okay, that brings us to Vine Dudes. Let's see. So I'm going to roll a d6 for the fire damage from Eridith's firebolt, having ignited him. And that is a 1. So it takes 1 fire, and then it takes 5 from the oil, correct? Is that how we're doing that round by round, Hebney? Okay, so this thing, you start to feel its grip on you loosen. And I'm going to have you make a dex roll. Thank you, John. I appreciate that, brother. Make a dex saving throw because you're off the ground. You've climbed up on this guy, up by his head, and you're probably a good 4 feet off the ground, and you're tangled in vines. So I'm going to have you make either a dex save or an acrobatics roll, whichever you prefer. to
Would
see
you-
if you land on your feet.
Would you say that this is an effect that I can see happening?
Well, it's not
if
an
so,
effect.
my-
He's just dying, and you're tangled up in him, and you're about to
So-
fall.
So my danger sense feature, if I will have advantage on dex saves against effects that I can see. Do I see that he's falling? Would that apply?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just roll.
You know why I like it? It's danger sense, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm falling. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's
Okay.
go ahead and take that
That's not very good though.
advantage.
10.
Okay. I needed you to get a 12, so you're prone. You don't take any damage or anything. You're oily.
Okay.
You've managed to separate yourself from this flaming vine dude before you ignited, which is good news. But you've fallen prone in the tangly underbrush, and he kind of goes down in a flaming mound of dead vine dude number 3, just kind of beside you. But you're out of harm's way with regard to fire.
God damn it.
You're just having a rough time over there. Love it. Okay, so that was his turn, basically. The other one is on Baldwin, and it is going to attempt to hit Baldwin and try to, grapple and restrain and constrict and do all those lovely things that these delightful little guys do. And that is an 18 on the die, plus 4 is 22. Baldwin the dwarf has been summarily grapple restrained, and he's going to take, he's got a 15 AC. He's going to take a couple of these square guys, plus 2, 6 bludgeoning, and Baldwin is now wrapped in vines.
I don't know if it would help, but he does have a +1 if he's within 10 feet of me.
Right,
That
and he
makes
does.
difference.
He
Okay.
does, but that puts his AC at 16, and I got a 22. But thank you for the reminder. Yep,
Yeah.
good call. Okay, so Baldwin is restrained. That is the end of the turn for the Vine Dudes. Only one remains, and it is currently wrapped around, and you see Baldwin trying to struggle, cursing mightily. His flask drops into the brush, and he really starts to become angry because he felt his flask of liquor drop, and that's no bueno in his world. That brings
and
us.
then we just hear above us Tim screaming, "Screw you guys!"
Yeah. So, Eridith, you are up. You just saw your dwarf friend be enveloped and restrained and constricted by this remaining vine dude. What do you do?
What is my position as far as where is Baldwin in
Yeah,
relation
I mean, it's
to
almost
where I'm
right
sitting?
in front of you. You haven't moved this whole time, just doing your firebolts. And he's literally like 5 feet to your 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
But is Baldwin between me and the vine dude, or am I at an angle again?
Baldwin is smaller. There's enough of this thing showing that you're not going to run the risk of hitting your companion unless, let's do this. If you roll a 1, I will give it a 50-50 shot on the D100 that you do hit Baldwin.
Now we're fine.
So
We're
I think that's
fine.
fair. Yeah, everything
Fine.
is good. But
This is going great.
possibly be bad about
I will. I'm just gonna keep doing my little bag of tricks because this just seems to be working so good. So,
this. Firebolt seems to be effective
Firebolt.
here. Yeah.
Imagine what it'd be like if I was actually a mage.
Really?
Yeah, okay, that's 7.
So not a 1.
And not a 1, but
Damn.
it was starting to look a little close.
So with
I
the
was starting to
7,
sweat.
even if you
Yep.
take one of your
Plus
plus
two, it wouldn't
2s, you're
hit.
not going to get there.
Ah.
Yeah. So your
Shoot,
firebolt
I should have
just
used an advantage.
errant
Nope,
into
missed
the
this one.
sky.
But I got nervous. I was worried I hit him, and I erred in the side of
Yeah,
talking too much.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, too far away, 8 feet or so. It's just too far. It's a pressure.
yeah.
Okay, Baldwin, in a fit of rage, is going to attempt to free himself as he's just wrapped up right where he stands by this guy. And he will spend a +2 to do so. I rolled an 11 on the die. Oh, wait a minute. It's a strength roll. He probably has a bonus. He's a dwarf, right? Oh, he has a +1. Perfect. So we're good. I don't have to burn a +2. So he frees himself and curses at this thing, and that is his action. And he stands his ground and brandishes his battle axe for his next melee opportunity. And we're back to the top of the order with Blarg.
Well, so there's only one left, and I'm right
There's
Next to
one
it, I think.
left, and it's about 10 feet behind you. You have Daryl sort of beside you. You have Baldwin behind you because you were facing east where the two were in front of you. They're directly behind you to the west by about 10 feet. So
Okay.
you could turn and move.
I am going to do that. I'm going to
Okay.
turn and move, and then when I get to it, I'm going to attack it.
Okay.
Attack.
And you have an ally within 5 feet of it, as Baldwin and Daryl are both there. Actually, Daryl moved over there, so.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I
you get-
rolled a 15.
Yeah,
to
that
hit.
will hit for sure.
All right, so he takes 6 piercing. I'm gonna have to get rid of this stupid dice set. He takes 5. Wait a minute. 5 acid damage, and then he takes. Oops. And then he takes 4 sneak attack damage. Wow, that was pretty pathetic.
Okay, so how you want to do this?
Oh,
Yes.
So Blarg closes the distance with this guy and just sticks out his acidy short sword right into the mids. I guess you'd have to do this to get to the midsection, but he thrusts upwards, hits it in the middle, and the acid starts burning away those twigs and leaves. And as the creature dies, it howls out in terror.
Yeah, it just, you see
Killed
the
by a
vines and the
goblin.
roots. Yeah, they just all recoil, and it sort of melts and falls back, separates, and it's just hissing and bubbling where the acid struck it and dripped on it from your blade, and everything grows quiet around you. The overgrowth that kind of came alive, the brambles, those blue, thorny little blueberry or blackberry bushes and raspberry bushes that were, kind of almost grabbing at you and so forth, have all just kind of stopped. And you all just kind of look at one another like, what just happened? 30 seconds later, after the overgrowth came to life, you're all standing there, generally about 15 to 20 feet away from this big, dark, twisted, 30-foot tall oak, again, covered in vines and moss. The sun seems to have gone behind a bank of clouds that has come overhead over this thorn, shrub, bramble-filled, just unpleasantly cold clearing.
The hell was that all about?
So Daryl turns to Hebney and says, when he asks, he says, I think they were trying to protect it. And I don't know, but it could be that this thing in the middle, it seems like these things were trying to protect whatever was in the middle of it. What do you think?
Yeah, they didn't like us getting close to that tree.
No. And then at the same time, he looks around he actually asks everyone kind of to assess their wounds to see if anyone needs any help. I don't know if Carl or Blarg or Hebney took any damage that needs any help.
I'm good.
Blarg took damage.
Did some
Blarg.
killing, too.
Blarg looks like he's down about 10.
Okay. So with that,
So what does it look like when Blarg is down 10?
Well, he's a little bruise on the forehead.
I would say you got some pretty nasty thorn gouges from
some
where
thorn
it constricted
gouges.
and scratches, and a very sore wrist as it got pinned up against you because this thing was impossibly strong.
Kind of in a bad mood.
Is 23 strength? Is that impossibly strong?
It sounds pretty strong.
It's pretty strong.
pretty
Actually,
strong.
that's not the right thing.
Hebney would look about the same as Blarg, except having the added bonus of being covered in a slick oil.
Yeah, all down the front of you, you have where part of that flask, went on you and went on it.
He pulls out
he looks
a
like
rolled
my
cigarette.
boy Blue in Old School.
yeah. He pulls out a twisted up tobacco stick and he's trying to light it with a flintstone. Yeah, we'll light.
So Daryl will heal Blarg. He takes his staff of healing off his back and then
Yay!
And heals Blarg. He kind of comes up to him and taps him on the shoulder with that staff, and there's this kind of electricity that goes through the staff, it looks like, and with that he is feeling a little bit better. So 8 points.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
The
And
rest of it
remind
will
me,
heal naturally over 20 days.
Hebney's not down anything, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's
you
down. He's down a bit.
Hebney
so-
got hammered pretty good too.
So
Yeah.
Daryl will come up to Hebney too and take the same, and he'll put again, kind of pass it across his shoulder and touch him, and then this little blue electricity will kind of flow through, and he will also take 8 points of
Hot
healing.
damn, that feels good.
That's right.
Hey, Hebney. Oh man. Grumpy.
Yeah.
I noticed how angry you got.
Yeah.
At that battle. I mean, I could see it. You're all red.
Yeah.
This is why I don't think you could ever pull off like Giggles. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I just don't
You're
think
probably right.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Well, I'm working on it. I'm trying to be happier, but when things attack my friends, it pisses me off.
Well, yeah. And Brother Gonzo, you kind of make us sound like the bad guys.
I kind of make you sound
Yeah,
like
yeah. When you talk about that, they're protecting their arch or whatever. Kind of makes us seem like the bad guys.
Well, I think they were, and I don't want you to make it feel like that. It's just that I think we came close to them, to the black tree, and maybe they were just thinking that we were going to hurt it.
Yeah.
Are there more of them? Are they gonna come back? I'm gonna look around. Are there any more of these?
So, Blarg, what do you think we should do next?
Well, Blarg's going to look at the arch. Does it look any different?
No, not at all. Nothing has changed.
What's on the other side of the arch? It's just an arch, and you walk through it and you go towards the.
Yeah, the arch seems to be the only way to get through this ring of gnarled, 15, 20 foot tall oak trees, again covered in moss and vines. It looks like just an old circle, very old, like capital O, old circle of these oak trees that are twisted and bark missing and split and dark, very dark wood. Most of the oaks around the ring have most of their leaves, as is customary, for the 10th month of the year for Patchwall. The one in the middle, the one oak by itself in the center, is probably twice as high as the others, twice the girth, even darker and scarier looking, more twisted. Looks like maybe it's been hit by lightning a few times. It's a rough looking thing. And inside, if you go through the arch like you did, and it's just a big stone, looks like it's like stacked stone that's been cut to be smooth by, some, artisan hands, and then obviously made quite smooth by years and years of wind and rain and weather, snow. You're up in the rakers. It just looks like a very ancient, unwelcoming, foreboding circle of trees with this huge oak in the middle, and then again all of these just thorn bushes and small trees and viney overgrowth all around in this clearing. It's all overgrown. For all for the goblin, the dwarves, and the gnome, this is all difficult terrain just to move through. Eridith, not so much. But then once those vine dudes came alive, it all became difficult terrain because everything was clutching at you and thorning you and grasping at you. But that's all stopped.
So that's going to go over and.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to go over and just sort of take a closer look at one of the remains of these vine dude things, and I'm going to go. I think these were vine blights. I don't know. They're just basically evil plants, whether they were here to guard this tree or just happened to be looking for an opportune meal. I don't know.
So I've got a couple of thoughts here. I still think this portal can get Presto home. We just have to activate it. And there's a couple of things about this big tree that intrigued me. One, it's been struck by lightning several times, it looks like. So I'm thinking if we tie Brother Gonzo to the top of the tree, we may be able to cure him. And at the same time, maybe not at the same time, we'll keep that option open. But what if we cut down the big tree? Maybe that'll activate the portal.
Meredith, do you think that this tree itself is evil?
I really don't know much about the tree. Once I got a better look at these vine blights, it's kind of just, I can kind of recall hearing about them before.
Do they come from your realm?
I just have, I've heard of them in my travels. So.
I'm in full support of Blarg's experimentation with electricity thing, but cutting the tree down could cause more of these creatures to attack, or I don't know.
I think we should examine the tree a little bit closer.
Agreed.
Maybe they attacked us because we weren't cutting down the tree. Maybe that's what they want.
From what I know of them, they just sort of hang out and wait for dinner to come to them. So more opportune hunters.
See, listen to the wizard. He's studied up on these tree blights.
Wizard, not a wizard. I'm going to start examining the tree, looking for any kind of hollows that may contain something, or carvings, or...
I'll help.
Okay, so Hebney and Erideth are going to, again, you approach this massive oak. It seems to not have quite as many leaves as the other oaks. You know, this thing looks, you know, twice the size and probably twice the age of all the other trees you've seen in this bizarre, it just, everything smells old, musty, ancient. I think, oh, darn it. Baldwin will go examine the archway a little more closely. As a dwarf, he's most interested in the stonework. And so Erideth and Hebney, you come to the tree and you begin to, and it's got these gnarled roots, and you know there's vines wrapped around it, hanging from it here and there, twisted limbs. There are several dark openings in it where it's maybe split, or maybe it's split and something hollowed it out over time. And this thing is massive around. It's probably, you know, it's got to be 30, 35 feet high, and it's probably at least 10 feet around, you know, all gnarled and twisted. So by how exactly are you inspecting this tree? Excuse me.
Yeah, before they do that, though, Daryl kind of comes up to him and says, it might be good that if you decide that you want to inspect it manually, that I might be able to help protect you in the process of doing this. So he starts to kind of takes out his book and starts to prepare protection from good and evil.
Oh, okay. So are you going to allow him to cast a spell upon you, Ebony and Erideth?
And if
what does it take?
That's a good
tell us what he's casting, or he just starts, let me just cast spells on you.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Casting times one action.
Okay, juice me up. I'm ready.
Juice me up.
So Daryl bows his head, goes through his book, and says a small prayer, but this one's a little bit longer than the one for detect magic, just because he's not as used to the words that were normally used to be able to have his god be able to come and bestow the magical properties. And at the same time, he then comes over, and even though it's not necessarily it is. So then he'll take both his hands onto Hebney, and he'll place them both onto his forehead, and Hebney will kind of look up towards the sky. There'll be somewhat of a shimmer, and he'll release his hands from Hebney.
Wow.
Okay, so what happens? What effect will Hebney have as the result of you casting protection from good and evil upon him?
Yep. So he will get, if it is poison, you're neutralize the poison. If you're Oh wait, that's sorry, wrong. That's sorry. I apologize. I'm pulling up the wrong spell. Oh, sorry. Okay. Until spell ends, one creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fays, fiends, and undead. Protection grants several benefits. Creature of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls. Target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against relevant effect.
Nice.
That's the best I can do.
While he's casting that spell, Blarg is going to sheath his sword. The trunk of the big old tree is really large, right?
Yeah, it's probably 10 feet across.
I'm gonna start climbing the tree, like I'm just gonna walk up to it, and I'm gonna start walking up the trunk of the tree.
So we've had Daryl cast Protection from Evil and Good upon Hebney. Blarg, you're going to attempt to climb the tree.
I'm not going to attempt. I'm going to climb the tree.
You're going to climb the tree. Okay, I'm going to ask you to make an athletics roll, like the athletics check.
So I think my slippers will help me with that.
Oh yeah, tell us about your slippers. I forgot all about your gnarly little goblin.
I don't know that Blarg really knows it's the slippers that help him, but the slippers allow him to climb vertical surfaces.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I guess we can dispatch with the athletics roll. Very good. Is that the springing and striding slippers?
They are slippers of spider climb.
Or slippers of spider climb, literally climbing. Very nice. Yeah. So you all see Blarg walk up the face of this tree. Just walk like it's,
wow,
no big deal.
Actually, you see Daryl casting the spell on Hebney to protect him from examining the tree. Erideth is getting ready to cautiously approach the tree, and then Blarg just struts right in and walks right in the tree.
Yeah, everybody's trying to be careful, and then Blarg is like, do, just walks up the tree. Okay.
You haven't used those before, have you, Blarg? Have you used those before like that? This is a kind of a big reveal, isn't it?
Oh, I
don't know.
Use them.
I didn't know they were really magic.
I never used them. I haven't used them yet. This is the first time I've used them.
Okay. I thought you were just fooling that they were magic.
Yeah, so I think right there at that cliffhanger moment as Hebney and Erideth get ready. It's a tree hanger, yeah. As they get ready to inspect this, very carefully, cautiously approach and inspect this old oak, ancient tree. Blarg blithely walks up it, kind of looking at him like, hey, what's up? And right there, we'll hit the pause button, and we will take a 5-minute bio. So we'll be back here at like 6:20 p.m. Eastern, 5:20 in the Central Time Zone, and 4:20 in the Mountain Time Zone.
Ooh,
for those of you who
know
are,
what that means.
Yeah, little 4:20. That's right. So little bio break, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Thanks everybody for hanging out again. John Blue Box, thank you so much for the raid and the generous donation of bits. Holy smokes. So thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll be back in 5 minutes with a little bit more Greyhawk deliciousness. And yes, that is a thing actually, Greyhawk deliciousness. Alrighty, we are all broken and stretched and biodegraded and all of that, and we're back to play some more D&D. So thanks for everybody for hanging out. Caught a nice raid earlier from Blue Box RPG, so make sure you check them out. So Blarg is walking up the front of this huge gnarled ancient oak as Hebney and Eridith begin making arrangements to inspect it very carefully. How will you two go about inspecting this tree?
Well, I guess I was curious about if there's any hollows or openings or anything.
There definitely are cracks,
and it's
some hollows. Yeah,
it's daytime, right?
It is.
What time of day? We're in the afternoon, aren't we?
It's a crystal clear, cold day. What's odd is there's like no snow in this clearing. You know, it's wintertime. You've had some snowfall. I don't know if it's a trick of the wind. There's
I'm sure that's
frozenness and signs, but there's no really accumulated snow in this particular circle. But that tree has openings and hollows and splits and cracks all over it.
Well, I don't want to shove a torch anywhere near it because it's an old, potentially dried tree, and the guy next to me is covered in oil. So I will draw my longsword, which I don't believe I've done since this campaign started, but it glows with moonlight. Moonlight. So I will use that. I will be poking and prodding that into the openings and crevices and whatever else to see what there is to see.
Okay.
And I imagine Hebney would be like, he knows wood, he works wood, he's a skilled artisan. He would be sort of looking for the quality of the grain of the wood, and basically trying to get a feel for if it's natural or unnatural. Yeah. I have something called magic awareness, so I can open my awareness to the presence of concentrated magic for one turn, so 6 seconds.
Okay.
And he'll just be kind of using that as he examines it.
Fair enough. So you get a strong sense of magic from the sword that Eridith has drawn. This beautifully crafted elvish blade has this glow about it, this lunar, mysterious glow about it, like moonlight almost. It is spectacular as he's kind of gently poking and prodding here and there. With advantage, Hebney, would you roll investigation as you begin to inspect? You see that this must be very, 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 very hard wood. The grains inside, if you were able to somehow get some lumber out of this thing, cut it down, mill it down, you could probably get some incredible pieces of beautiful wood to work with out of this particular specimen.
I rolled an 11.
Okay, with advantage.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. Again, very, very spectacular tree.
Beautiful.
It was like, with advantage. Yep.
That's impressive right there. Yeah. Okay. Eridith, as you are doing your thing and walking around, a branch, you're walking around the tree, a branch suddenly kind of falls at you. Does a 21 hit your armor class?
Let's see, 16. Yes.
Okay. And you are bludgeoned, thereby taking 17 damage. As a branch
How big was this branch?
Falls, whack, and
look out!
Goblin guy, climber dude. Yeah. A vine begins to come from the roots of the tree and attempt to grab you. Does a 14 hit?
Nope.
Okay. But you feel this thing trying to get it. It's like a root has tried to grab you as this entire oak starts to move and seemingly animate And Hebney, you're like right there. And this definitely, as a artisan woodworker guy, is not what you expected. And you're a little stunned that you weren't able to see that this not all... It isn't making sense, because all of a sudden this big oak tree is like apparently trying to attack your friends, and we are going to roll initiative.
I'm gonna shout out, "Hey guys, I think this tree's alive."
Try to reason with it this time.
Captain Obvious. Yeah, I think this might be alive. Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh my god. We're gonna die.
Let me... for the love of goodness.
Glad I healed you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Me
I
too.
wasn't expecting this one.
25 to 20. Why are you guys always so quiet when I say that? Hey, what's up, Mr. Wilson? How about 20 to 15?
Hey, Wilson.
Blarg got a 15.
There it is.
And that's it, huh? Blarg
Sad.
got a 15. 15 to 10.
Meredith got an 11. I'm just stunned, still rubbing my head, going, ow! Oh!
Okay. 10 to 5.
7 for Daryl.
Wow. Hebney, how'd you do?
4.
Okay.
This wood is beautiful. Whoa!
What's your dex?
+2.
Okay. Okay. So you've seen this thing, a huge branch that apparently didn't fall, but it swatted Eridith because the branch is still attached to the tree, and it looks like it's going to wind up and try to do it again. And thumped Eridith, but good, with some serious bludgeoning, 17 bludgeonings. And it also tried to ensnare the goblin as he's climbing up the face of this thing. Blarg, it is your turn. You are at the top of the initiative order.
So I had started climbing the tree. How far had I gotten up the tree?
We'll say, because difficult terrain, I'm gonna give you like 10 feet.
Okay.
We'll say you're about 10 feet up.
So it's difficult terrain.
Yeah,
So
I've got basically all of you are at the tree, except for Baldwin, who's 30 feet away through difficult terrain. So he's going to be 2 rounds getting there.
So Blarg's going to turn around. He was walking up the tree. He's going to turn around and walk back down the tree and get off the tree.
Nope.
Okay. So you can move like 5 feet away from the tree. Down and 5 is 15 feet.
I'm going to stay in melee with it because I'm going to kick the crap
You're
out
going
of
to
it.
melee it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm going to assume I'm going to bonus action my sword so that it ignites. I don't know if I de-ignited it, but I'll bonus action it anyway. So
you did, because you scabbarded it.
Oh, yeah. So I'll ignite it and then I'll stab it. I'll stab at the tree. Let's see.
Okay. Stab at thee.
So I got a 15.
Let us have a look-see, shall we? 15 will do it.
All right. So I got 8 piercing.
8 piercing? Okay.
And I got 6 acid. And I got
sneak attack. Nice.
And I got 8 sneak attack, 16, so that's 22.
Okay. That's pretty damn rogalicious of you. Well done, sir. Okay,
Thank
so you see Blarg just pull out a short sword and begin to go to work on this thing, and chips, bark and bits of wood, and this shudder goes through the tree, and it its limbs shake and creak as it kind of stiffens up or stretches out from being kind of stationary. Eridith, it's your turn. You're basically standing in front of this thing, with your sword.
Blarg will say, I'm pretty sure it's alive.
Yeah.
That's his linguist training paying off
Yes.
right there. Yeah.
I'm going to look at as I'm. All right. Well, I know what worked pretty good against vine blights, and as I'm staring, it's going. Oh my God! It's a tree blight. Tree. Yes, a tree blight. They're even nastier than the vine blights. And as I'm backing away from it, I'm going to do. You know it. Say it with me. Flame bolt. No one said it
Firebolt.
with me. Firebolt.
Okay.
That's why no one. That's why no one
are you
said it with me.
backing away from it?
I will back away, and then I will fight flame bolt.
Okay, so you're going to leave melee with it. It's going to attempt to...
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I won't do that then.
It's
That's
going
right.
to attempt to... A root is going to shoot out and try to grab you. I'm going to spend an advantage. Oh, I rolled a 1 and a 4. I mean, are you kidding me right now? Okay, so you back up, and its opportunity attack fails. How far back are you going? Max would be 15, because... Oh, you don't
15.
have difficult terrain. You could go 30 if you wanted.
Sure, 30.
Okay,
I'll do that.
So you're back by the arch, maybe?
I'm just going to get away from a little bit, and then, I
With
got a
Baldwin?
10 to hit.
Nope.
+2.
Nope.
Never mind.
Okay. That's a miss.
I got to stop trying to do that while I'm walking backwards.
Oh, y'all are getting some advantages. Hey, Wilson is cranking out the long bottom leaves over there.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Wilson.
Twisting up a few.
Thanks, Dave.
He must have heard 420 earlier. Okay. Oh, the DM. Thank you, Dave. You're so nice.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Oh, and another one. And another one. That's 3 of them. Are they all advantages, Dave? Wow, that's exciting. So that was Eridith. Daryl, you're up. Evil Grin. Those are all advantages. Very nice. Thank you, Dave. Too kind.
So is Blarg still on the tree?
No, he got down off the tree
He
and
got
he's in
down. Okay,
melee,
cool.
drew his sword,
Okay.
and attacked it.
All right, and then Hebney hasn't really done anything yet. In terms
Hebney
of-
was up close inspecting it, and it just kind of
Got it.
jumped to life.
Oh. Okay, so
What are you trying to say, Bob?
What's that?
What are you trying to say?
No, I didn't want to hurt anyone. That's all. I just wanted to make sure that.
Hebney hasn't done
Something-
anything, huh?
Something spectacular's coming, I think.
He's
But
not
it's
mad
covered in
yet?
oil, so
Well, no, I'm
Wait
trying
for
to
it.
figure out if I don't want to hurt
I
my
know.
buddies here.
I'm just kidding.
So Daryl will take a swing at him. And by the way, his spiritual weapon's still floating around because it's a minute that he's got. So, I mean, a minute is
10 rounds.
10 rounds?
Yeah.
So,
You had it for 2 rounds.
right. So it's still,
So 8 rounds. I would say that you've probably got, because you had to cast that other spell,
I did.
and you all came to the tree. I would say I'll give you 4 more rounds with it.
Cool. All right. So it's got a little life left in him. So he's going to try to hit it with his warhammer.
Okay.
Come up with it, take a big swing.
Would you have brought it with you when you moved toward the tree? Because it does have to move. It moves 20, I believe.
Yeah. So I guess yes.
Okay.
I'll say yes.
That's fair. Okay, go ahead.
And then takes a big backhand at the tree, and that is 18 to hit.
That
the
is a
tree.
hit. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So again, big backhand swing of it, splinters off some bark, and or at least hits it, and definitely splinters some bark with a 13 damage with the warhammer.
13 damages, bludgeoning.
And then right behind him, like it was like copying him, the spiritual weapon, the warhammer, almost in the same. It was like the hammer comes in, and then the warhammer almost follows the spiritual weapon follows the track, and that is a 20
That hits.
for 3 points,
Okay, noted.
and that's his round.
Very good. Okay, after Daryl is Baldwin O'Farrell, and he's going to begin making his way. After picking up his flask, he inspected the archway, and he is coming toward the tree. So he moves about 15 feet through the difficult terrain, short little stubby dwarf legs, and that is his turn. In fact, he's going to double move and get there this round, and that is his turn. So next turn he can attack. Okay, Baldwin, that brings us to Hebney.
Well, when I was examining things, there was no magic on the tree at all. As you described, it was the sword that was the magic that was nearby.
Correct.
Okay.
The only magic sense you got were any magic items on your party members.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm assuming that maybe I shouldn't, but my guess is that the rage would have gone away. So I'm gonna rage again,
Okay.
which allows me to roll a d12 for some shenanigans.
Wild magic search time.
Yep. There it is.
This time it's rage against the tree,
Rage against the
not rage
tree.
against a machine. See what I did there?
Whenever a creature hits me with an attack roll, it takes d6 force damage as magic lashes out in retribution.
Oh,
That's
nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Remind me of that.
So I will. So bonus action rage, and then I'm gonna go ahead and attack.
Okay.
Yep. Here we go. I'm gonna use one of my advantages from the chat to swing my Warhammer. That's going to be 24 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
And that's going to give us a total... Oops, that's the wrong die. 13 magical bludgeoning damage.
Very well. Very nice. You guys are dealing some damage.
And then I will try to kind of skitter. I think I'm kind of up at the tree when I was inspecting it. So I'm going to try to just sort of move around the tree, hoping that it can't see me.
Okay.
I don't know how tree eyes work.
That's a good... Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
That's
He's just
it.
like moving around behind it?
Kind of, yeah. Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Roll
Hit it and then move.
perception for me. As you make this, you kind of skirt around the back of this massive oak.
3 total.
Okay, yeah.
I know how tree eyes work.
I don't.
Okay.
I do. And I'm going to tell you that they don't work because they have a twigmastism.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You can give me the inspiration right now.
Wow. Oh, you know what? Can I use an inspiration to
Yeah.
re-roll that? Okay.
Oh,
I have one
absolutely.
here.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, good. I'm gonna re-roll that. What was it?
Dave's going to use an inspiration to actually turn back time so that Chris doesn't have a chance to say that.
Time.
That's what he's gonna do.
The twigmatism is still active, and I only got a 7.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, with a 7, you notice there's kind of a mound of overgrowth behind, probably 15 feet behind where the oak was when it first started. Just a kind of a large mound but there's vines and shit all over it. Brambles.
But it catches my eye.
Thorn bushes. Yeah, you kind of you can't really tell what it is. You know, you didn't get a good look because you're so focused on the tree, but you do see, it seems like it's the only other feature in this, this opening, this clearing, besides the oak tree.
Okay.
And all the overgrowth, underbrush.
That serves the end of my turn.
Very well. Okay. That brings us to the tree. A root tries to grip our goblin-y friend with advantage.
It would be a disadvantage because of my cloak.
Right, so it's going to swing at regular die roll because I'm going to burn an advantage. And that is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so you're grappled at the start of your turn. You will, you can make an escape attempt. But this root has wrapped around your waist and it is holding you fast. And you are grappled.
Okay.
That is your condition. All
I don't like
right.
it.
Yeah, and it hurts. It's really tight. And then it is going to take a branch and swing at Hebney, also with advantage.
Borrow his cloak.
Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, that's my armor class.
Okay. All right, so with that, from the branch, you take some bludgeoning, and that is a total of 9 and 2 is 5 is... Wait a minute. 6
That
and
was a
5
lot
is
of
11
dice.
and
That
6.
sounds like a doesn't sound like
17
change in the
bludgeoning.
pocket.
Yeah, I'm playing with these
Yikes.
big
Oh, that
giant
feels.
Titan dice that I won from
How do you
Zumba.
do? How do you do half a 17?
Round down. Yeah,
So
we always round down.
8.
So 8, yeah. 8
And then
bludgeoning.
it will take D6 force damage as a
Oh, yes.
result of my
Go ahead and roll
magic.
that. Yeah. Good.
That's 5. 5
nice.
force damage.
Okay. Great. You guys have dealt some damage. Yeah, so the thing kind of shudders as the branch, and you can hear the branch kind of snap and crack as a result of that force damage as it hits you, and it knows right where you are. Remarkable. And then Blarg, it's going to attempt to bite you because it has you grappled, and it can do that as a bonus action.
Oh dear.
16 plus 9, 25. Does that hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta get these out here. Got a couple of these. Oh, you're lucky.
Oh dear.
14. And that is piercing damage as this maw opens up and the root kind of pulls you toward it, and it just down on your shoulder, and it's all like slivers go in you, and very dead, stickily dry wood.
Oh good.
And you are what did we say? Grappled. And that ends its turn, and that brings us to Blarg.
Oh good.
And while you're grappled, until the grapple ends, the target takes D6 plus 6 bludgeoning at the start of each of its turns.
Oh dear. This could
Because
be
it's
it.
Plus
it's constricting. So you take 9 bludgeoning, and you may now have the rest of your turn. You can try to escape by escaping the grapple with a DC 15, and that would be... Doesn't say how you grapple. Is that a strength roll? I think that's a DC 15 strength check.
Oh dear. I could. Well, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna use an advantage. Can I use an advantage to try to escape?
Yeah. Those advantages are good for any D20 roll.
That's what I thought.
Except for death saves and grapple escapes. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna try that. Whoops. Well, the first one was an 18. So the first one was an 18.
Okay.
The second one was a 7.
Okay. Do you have like a -4 strength or anything?
No.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. So you managed
Close,
to break
but
free,
no.
and the root kind of recoils and slithers and snaps around menacingly.
Now there's going to be some trouble.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be trouble, tree guy. Not this round, next round.
Oh, next time. Okay, it's coming though. Okay. Is that the extent
You know-
of your activity?
You know what I'm going to do? No, I'm going to actually do something else. I'm going to use, that was my action. So I am going to use my cunning action and disengage as a bonus action.
Okay. Yeah.
Aren't we all adults here?
And you have movement if you wish.
Yeah, so I'm going to move away from it.
Okay, you can move 15 feet. You're basically 5 feet away now in melee. You can move 15 feet wherever you want to go.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 15
straight
feet.
away. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the tree's in the center and we're looking down at it, you're kind of to the southeast, kind of 4 o'clock direction, 5 feet away. So I'm going to have you 15 feet further. You're out to the edge of the oak trees, which I'm sure are harmless.
Yeah, that's
there.
what I'm thinking.
Just stand right up against one of them.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I think they're fine.
they are. Actually, they are fine. They're fine. Okay, Blarg, it is the end of your turn, and that brings us to Aerodeth.
Uh,
Aerodeth, you're still
Okay.
down at the Arch.
any way of telling how hurt this thing's looking right
Because
now?
you fled. You
I
know, a couple
strategically backed away. Thank you.
a couple of limbs have been knocked off, and it has had a couple of cracks opened in it. There's acid, eating its way in, and it appears to be, heavily damaged. But it was already so gnarly looking,
Right.
old and beaten down by weather and goodness knows what, that it's hard telling.
Okay, I may do something a little different because I'm not a wizard.
Totally.
You
right,
expect me to keep using magic, so I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt at it.
Okay, and what does that do, and what does it look like when you cast this
I,
non-wizardly magic?
in my non-wizardly way, I hurl an undulating, warbling mass of chaotic energy at it, and I'm going to use an advantage because I don't want to whiff this thing and miss it. Where are my advantages?
Fair enough. Just for our audience who maybe are unfamiliar with Shadarkai and whatever class you are, what class are you?
Sure.
I'm an arcane archer, but I have the mage initiate feat
Yes, there we go. So
granted
that's
to me by the 3 painful-looking scars that are on my forearm.
nice. Everything has its
And that
price.
was yes, the Raven Queen selected me. That was the price.
Okay,
Yikes.
so you are going to cast Chaos Bolt, correct?
Chaos Bolt.
Okay,
First one's a 17.
that is a hit. I have
I'll
AC
take the 21, so because it
Okay.
just hits more.
okay.
So,
Yeah, more hitting.
so I do okay now.
So what does this thing look like when you cast a spell, and what kind of damage is it? Give us the rundown here.
So I just sort of gather because like I'm gathering energy from the air, and I'm just thrusting and chucking this ball of energy at it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see I don't even know what kind of damage this does. I'll tell you in a second here. This does 11 points of lightning damage.
Nice. That's nice
Plus,
against a tree.
plus I get +1. I also get a 1d6. I get to add a d6 to that. So 11 plus 1. 12 points of lightning
Yeah.
damage. So
So one more than before.
trees love lightning. Too
Yeah,
bad.
so this
Daryl. Yeah,
this
Daryl, quick, jump in the. Ah, it's just
blast of lightning comes out of your hand, I assume, and crackles across the grove here, the clearing, and right dead center in the trunk, and cracks the tree some more and kind of smolders it. Smoke as you smell burnt wood and things. Okay, anything else from Aerodeth?
That's all I got.
Okay, Daryl, you're up. You're right in front of this thing.
Yeah,
melee.
he's gonna do the same. He's gonna take another swing at it with his warhammer and see what he can do. So this time it's a forehand, and he'll 23
That's a hit.
and 7 bludgeoning,
Okay.
and then his spiritual weapon will come right behind him. Same action, and that's an 8.
That's an 8. That's a miss.
Okay.
And a +2 is not going to get you there. AC
So-
15.
That's it. He's going to stay in the mix there.
Okay, very good. That brings us to Baldwin O'Farrell, and he will step up and with a mighty roar, he will make a 2-handed swing at this thing with his battle axe. And that is a 13 +2 will work to get him to 15. So that's a hit. 10 +1 is 6. I feel like there's something I'm missing here with him. Hang on a second. Oh, you know what it is? It's sneak attack damage.
Oh yeah.
Because he's a rogue as well. Features and traits. Sneak attack. 2d6 damage. He gets that because Daryl is at his side. So an additional 3. Really nicely done there. Very good. Okay. That is Baldwin. Hebney, you're up. You're behind this thing. You've taken a good knock on the noggin. What do you do?
You're on mute.
Oh, you're muted, Hebney. I couldn't tell your mouth was moving. Sorry, buddy.
Is this tree looking damaged at all?
Oh yeah,
or is
yeah.
it-
There's been some limbs knocked off of it. Additional splits in the trunk.
All right.
Every blow, it's like shuddering. The leaves are, shuddering. Yeah, it's looking rough.
I'm gonna make it shudder even more while I smack it with my warhammer. 16 to hit.
Okay, that's a hit.
All right. Ooh. That's only gonna be 9 damage, bludgeoning of the magical variety.
Okay, 9 damage it is. Of magical bludgeoning.
And then I'm going to continue to move to get out of its lashing limbs. Just going to continue to kind of skirt around it.
Okay. It's going to start to fall and split, and a bunch of vines come down off of it and move, and they come at you, and it tries to make a swing with its branch as it falls, and narrowly misses you, still knowing where you are, and it drops and splits, and the trunk opens, and you see like some insects, and there was some rot, and it's just dark black wood as it just lays there like a felled tree.
And half a dozen magic items.
Treasure,
and-
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a chest,
Loaded.
and 2 sacks, and a philosopher's stone. Yeah. No. And some vines animate coming down off of this thing, and they come at you, and kind of coalesce like a human. Looks familiar. The attack is an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you take
Oh dear.
7 bludgeoning, and you are grappled and restrained, as per before.
Okay. Fantastic.
So the big one became a little.
Well, a mass
little
of
one, but-
vines came down off of it. Apparently, there was another of these vine blights that was wrapped around it or cohabitating with it, or whatever. I don't know what you call that between blights, but yes. And there's one of these vine humanoids kind of standing over Hebney, wrapping its vines appendages around him and squeezing. Blarg, it is your turn. There is Hebney is probably 10, 20, 30 feet from you, 25 feet from you, but there's the big tree between you and him, but the tree is now down. But, imagine a 35-foot oak with all these gnarled, twisted branches.
Right.
So you probably can't really see Hebney and what's going on. But you have seen the tree go down and kind of split and lay motionless aside from the cold wind that's rattling its dry leaves.
So I am going to use my action to do what every goblin should do in a combat,
Change
and
of
that
underwear.
is hide.
Okay. You're right at the southeast kind of part of this ring of oaks, and you are easily able to just kind of slip back in between the oaks and the underbrush and the growth and the vines, and you're very easily able to hide. Do you wish to roll stealth?
If that's what's needed to hide, I'm also going to, as the bonus action, I'm going to turn off the great light of my sword. I'm going to turn that off. Doesn't seem conducive to hiding. But
That's how good of a hider you are.
I will roll stealth.
Hang on a minute. I want to look at that hiding action a little more
Okay.
closely. I don't know that you need to do that. Hide. Because hide is a rogue's action. Oops, damn it. No, not hide, like armor.
I'd even do that if I had it.
When you take the hide action, make a stealth roll in an attempt to hide.
So
Following the rules for hiding.
So I rolled a 15 on the stealth check.
Okay, I'm going to say it's easily accomplished because you're in this, wall of oak trees and thorn bushes, and you feel yourself kind of hung up, and you got thorns and pricker bushes, but yeah, you feel like you're pretty well hidden there.
And that's going to be my turn.
Okay, fair enough. Iridith, you're up. I would say that you also cannot really see what's going on with Hebney because it is giant felled oak.
Okay, and is it still difficult?
It's not difficult terrain for you because you're tall enough. It's the shorter characters who've had this difficult terrain. It became difficult for everyone when the vine blights attacked because they did that ensnaring thing that they do, and that made it difficult terrain.
How far away do I think Hebney is? I mean, based on
from where you are, probably a good 35, maybe 40 feet, but he's clear on the other side of the tree.
Right.
And it's hard, because again, picture a 35-foot tall, 10 feet around oak, all the twisted, gnarly branches. It's, you can't really see what's going on behind it, beyond it.
Right. I will. I know about. I mean, I've kind of. Do I at least have like kind of a rough idea of about?
You saw him disappear behind the tree.
On the tree. Okay.
Yeah. You assume he's still back there. You can't really see him.
Ooh, how tall are the trees around this ring?
The trees that make up the outer ring are probably 15 to 20 feet high, and then there's all the thicket that's grown up around them, and all the vines and critters and.
They look kind of old, though.
Oh, all of this whole thing is it's just absolutely ancient.
That may not work either. Okay. I'm going to run my full 30 feet, trying to, like, as straight a line as I can to get around the tree. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I'm trying to get to Hebney.
Okay. Well, you saw him go as you're looking at the tree. He went around the right side of the tree.
Okay.
And vanished. So you could run up and be even with the tree, and you could have, a better view of what's behind there.
Okay.
So you would be to the east of where the tree is felled.
I will run up. I'm going to get ready to use my bonus action if I don't have eyes on Hebney yet.
Okay. What you see behind, give me perception as you look around.
Perception, you say?
Yeah.
Nice. Good God. 5.
Okay, yeah. You see the tangle of undergrowth. You see probably 10 to 15 feet behind where the oak was before it was felled. A large, some kind of mound of something that is overgrown with all of the leaves and or not the leaves, the vines and the thorn bushes and the brambles, but you can't tell what it is. Just looks like a big pile of vines and overgrowth. And you don't see any sign of Hebney with a 5 perception.
Gee, really?
Yeah, there's just too much overgrowth. I mean, this trunk
that
of this
darn
tree
oil.
The trunk of the tree is 10 feet across, so when it's laying down, it's a 10-foot high obstruction.
Yep.
So it's a huge tree.
All right. Oh, God, I prefer to save this for getting my keister saved. All right, bonus action. Blessing of the Raven Queen. I will teleport another 30 feet.
Trying to get somewhere where you can see?
Straight ahead so I can get clear of the big tree. Yep.
Well, if you go straight ahead, you're going to be all the way across the grove.
Oh, okay.
Does it have to be somewhere you can see?
Yes, anywhere I can see. So, I mean, I don't have to go to full 30 feet. So I'll go to the far edge of the grove then. So I'm on the back side of it where I can...
Okay, so now you're on the back side of this big mound.
Okay.
Give me another perception roll since you have a new angle.
Oh, really? We have to do this?
Yes, we do.
Oh, well, okay, an 18.
Okay, yeah, you can see. So you're now at the north end of this ring of oaks, looking southward, and in the center is this felled oak tree all split apart. Big pile of dead tree. There's this big mound that is probably 20 feet from your position, north of where the oak tree was, and just to the right And about 5 more feet forward, you see Hebney in the clutches of another vine blight.
All right. Then since I burned my first level spell, and we're gonna go back to the good old reliable cantrip firebolt at Mr. Vine guy, because they don't seem to like this very much. And I should have been at with advantage.
Firebolt.
5.
Yeah,
5.
That's a big old miss.
I should have studied myself a little more first, but I got there.
Okay. That was a lot of stuff you did.
That was a lot of stuff for no
really
good.
happened, yeah.
That's right.
But it was a lot of stuff. That was exciting. Daryl, you're up. You're lucky you didn't get crushed by this tree as it all kind of fell down around you. I'm picturing, kind of split, and you're kind of in between. Like if it had just come straight down, it would have probably killed you. And it's just kind of split around you, and there's all this tangle of branches and trunk, and, you're just kind of in the midst of all this, like, holy crap.
How far away am I from that kind of blight that's separated off?
Well, you don't really see it because you're a dwarf standing in the midst of a big pile of dead oak tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where that guy is.
Yeah.
That's
a fair statement.
Okay. Do I know where my other compadres are?
Actually, you probably know where Baldwin is because he's not far from you because you guys were meleeing it. You guys are both kind of there in the wreckage of the tree. You've gotten scratched from the boughs, and you haven't taken damage, but this thing came down around you, and he's right there.
Do I see kind of some element of an exit for me? Like, can I get kind of pulled back from the?
It would be easiest to go forward through the trunk.
Okay.
Like the trunk has kind of formed this generally a tunnel, and you could dart right forward if you want to do that.
So he will do that with his, I guess, 15 feet or 12 feet of movement.
Yeah, it'll take you about 10 feet to get out of the trunk, and you find yourself standing in front of a huge mound of overgrowth, pricker bushes, thorns, vines, brambles. It's probably maybe 10, 12 feet high.
Okay. And that thing is attacking or no?
No, it's just there. It's just a big mound. It's like something is under all of this overgrowth, like it's grown up over it.
Got it.
Or it's just a big mound of overgrowth,
Okay. And
hard telling.
And if I spin around, what do I see behind me?
You could look straight back at Baldwin, or if you look a little bit to your right, you see Hebney being restrained by a vine blight.
Okay, so
he was on the northwest side of that tree trunk, and when you exited it, he would be to your left.
Got it. So he will see Hebney being restrained.
Yeah.
And now I'm probably a ways away from him, or
you're probably about 10 feet from him.
Okay.
But you're in difficult terrain, so that's another most of a round's worth of movement.
He is going to cast. So he's done his movement. He's going to cast as a cantrip Sacred Flame.
Okay.
And try to get the blight that's there.
Okay.
So this one again it's pretty quick for him. He'll actually not actually have to do much besides kind of twirling around his left hand, and then he'll do a little bit of he'll hold on to his holy symbol with his right hand. And then from his left hand, you'll see a flame-like kind of structure beam almost come from the left hand out towards the blight.
Nice.
And so you need to.
And doesn't like a mote of flame kind of come down from the heavens?
Flame-like radiance. Oh yeah, you're right. Flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. So I guess it's not coming from his hands. It's coming from the heavens.
How big is this radius of this flame?
It does not. So I can cast it something within 60 feet, which
that's your range. Clearly in the range.
That's my range. And then it does not necessarily give a.
So it's a target, not an area of effect.
Correct.
Okay, so because if it was an area of effect, we'd probably capture Hebney
Right.
in there, but
Right.
since it's
But
not,
it
you can
says-
target the
It
blight.
says the target gains no benefit from cover for this saving throw.
Perfect.
So
Yeah, so it's a targeted spell. Very good.
Dex saving throw.
Dex
And
saving
it's-
throw.
It's a 12.
DC 12. I have a 12 on the die. Let's see if I have any modifiers for the Vine Blight's dexterity. -1. I failed.
Ooh.
How often's that happen?
Right? Yeah. Worked out
Jeez.
perfectly for you.
Okay.
All right. So what
Uh,
happens is this beautiful flame descends upon the Vine Blight.
Yeah, so he'll the flame will descend and it will kind of flicker, but not be as, I guess, as wonderful as I would think it might be with only 2 points of damage.
2.
So it's almost like a little, it comes down and
Like
you
a
think
big
it's this
lighter.
amazing thing, and then it's just this little, and it's done.
A little spark.
It's a little, yeah, it's like, that's it.
Hey,
Like,
that
okay.
could be the 2 points that saves somebody's life. You just never know.
Less than impressive, but
Someone hasn't said their prayers today.
no, I better go and study up here. That's right.
Nice.
And that's everything that I can do. Oh no, sorry. Spiritual weapon. Still
Oh,
have
yeah.
it. He's still hanging around. I know, it's a kicker. It's like it's the
It's a great spell, man.
it really is. And it's the sneak attack for
Clerics, yeah.
for clerics. And so let's see what he gets. 14.
14 will hit.
Yep. So the big blue hammer comes in right next to the little spark that comes in, and it weighs down and gives him eight more points of damage.
Okay.
Now I'm done.
Very good. That brings up Baldwin. He is also going to escape the trunk of the tree and come out next to Daryl and see he's kind of skids to a halt, sees the huge mound of whatever that is, turns and sees where your attention is focused, and he sees Hebney trapped in the vines of this vine blight, and he looks through his list of things, and he
His
looks
actions.
through his list of things, and he decides to throw a dagger at the blight, and that is a 10, and that is not quite enough. So he misses. Oh, he's a party member. He can use a +2. That's fair. He hits. That gives him the 12. The Vine Blight's AC is 12. So dagger's D4 +2, which is 5. But more importantly, that triggers his sneak attack damage because he does have an ally very well within 5 feet of this Vine Blight, Ebony, as you are restrained. And that is 8 more damages. Okay. That is his turn. Hebney, you're up. You're not actually up. You're on the ground. You're restrained. What would you like to do with your turn?
Sorry, was that 8 points of damage against Hebney?
No. Against the Vine
okay.
Blight. No, sorry.
All right.
No, he got sneak attack because you're well within 5 feet
Oh yeah,
of
for
the
sure.
blight because you're restrained by the blight.
All right. So Hebney is really ticked off. He's raging. He's being squeezed by this thing. He is going to attempt to headbutt the vine blight. I'm going to use my last advantage. Thank you to the
Improvised
chat
attack,
for-
right? Or do you
for
have a
that.
special thing because you're a barbarian?
Well, so I have unarmed strike
Nice.
because I took the tavern brawler feat.
Ah!
And I haven't
Nice.
really had a chance to use it yet, so here we go. I'm gonna do
Here
an
we go.
unarmed strike. Yep,
Raging.
that's my action.
Headbutt
Yep, a raging headbutt.
with advantage.
Yep, and that's a natural 20. So
Awesome.
let's see, that's fun. Remind me how we do critical hits again.
Max damage.
Okay.
And then reroll, and that includes any modifiers. And
Okay.
then re-roll any damage dice and add the result of that roll to the max damage. But no modifiers on the re-roll.
Right. So a total of 9. I don't know if the rage bonus would apply. I
Any
think it's just
bonuses go to the max damage total.
all right. So 11 points of bludgeoning. And because I hit, I get to use my bonus action to make an additional unarmed strike. So this one is just a straight roll. That's going to be 23 to hit with, and then this one. So I headbutt, and then he's going to try to tear a piece of the blight, just pull it apart with his hands, just try to rip it. So that'll be an additional 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Describe for me how you end this vine blight with your raging cinematography headbutt shredding thing.
That is awesome.
He just smacks the headbutt, blood rolling down his nose, and then he grabs the head of this thing and like the shoulder and just tears it apart, and you just hear it crackling and twigs breaking, and then he just throws them into the distance.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. And yeah, so you your face is scratched up, and not like a damage type situation, but again, you just headbutted a thorny vine blight, and it shudders and releases you and kind of twitches and falls, and again everything grows quiet in the circle of oaks.
I want to give Dave an inspiration for that because that was pretty awesome.
I think that's pretty cool. That's well deserved. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
geez, thanks.
Blarg hears that the combat there's no more combat noises.
No, it has grown quiet. Just the howl of the cold wind. The temperature has fallen. It's grown quite sullen and gray, very thick cloud cover, low ceiling, and all you have is the wind through the raking through these oak branches and brambles as you all kind of look around.
So Blarg is going to unhide from where he is before anyone sees him hiding, and then he's going to come back to the others with his sword out and say, I looked around, but I didn't see any more of them.
What's that right there? And Hebney's going to point at the mound that's covered.
Oh, crap.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, I don't know. But it looks like my plan to cut down the tree was pretty smart, as it turns out.
Good call. Hebney, meanwhile, is pulling another flask of oil, pulls the cork out, and he's getting ready to pour it on this mound. What was it, a mound of like brambles and thorns and things?
It looks like some kind of a odd shape, and it's all thorns and vines and brambles and
oil everywhere.
Okay.
Burn it! Wizard, hit it with the fire.
Not a wizard, and then I will firebolt it.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll.
Moving.
Don't
Just
miss.
sitting there. Don't miss.
Hebney bursts into flames.
19.
Yeah, no problem. So you send a mote of fire from your secure location at the north end of this circle of oaks, and immediately the fire, goes into this mound, and immediately it ignites, and you have to back away, Hebney and Daryl and Baldwin, as the vines, catch fire pretty quickly, soaked in oil, and immediately it begins to burn. The heat. Large bonfire.
This probably isn't the time to make this observation, but this very well could give away our position to any orcs and stuff in the area.
Yeah, we're fine.
Ah, shit.
You think?
So the wind is whipping through here, right? Sparks going up and swirling, and some smoke. And then, it kind of burns, because oil, black smoke, right? And then it kind of burns off the oil and is, flaming. And as this is happening, you see revealed as this overgrowth, undergrowth, whatever kind of growth is burned away, what looks like a kind of a big chair, throne, if you will, of wood, scorching and smoldering as this lighter tinder dry tinder kind of burns away, and it's a ring around it. What do you do?
Is the chair burning?
It's hot and smoldering and smoking and blackening, but it hasn't ignited.
Could Baldwin like take his flask and
Oh yeah, he's
put
got
fire
that.
out?
Oh yeah, Baldwin could. You want him to put the fire out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll begin to blast it with the decanter of endless water.
Yeah,
Let me
that was the one
see.
with alcohol in it.
What setting? Yeah, he dumps his flask on it. Comes back to light. Decanter of endless water. He'll use the geyser, 30-foot long, foot wide,
Cool.
and just douse. The chair doesn't move, and you guys know this geyser causes damage to creatures. You know, you've seen it in action. It's serious. So this chair, which now that he's washing it off, essentially appears to be a throne of some sort of carved ornate wood, as he washes away the flaming material and all of the growth, and it's still mossy and old looking thing, but there it is.
Can we inspect it for anything that's either written into it, or is there anything that's anything inscribed into it or anything like that?
Oh sure, let's have a look, shall we?
In common, it's written, "Watch out for the tree blights."
Okay.
Don't set throne on fire.
I've put it up on stream. I will also drop the image into Discord. Am I in the right channel? I am not. What is this game?
Ooh,
Secrets of the
cool.
Flanaess.
Is it the Iron Throne?
It is very, very much made of wood, but it does look really ancient. You can see how dark it is, stained by time and the elements. I'm stalling while I find this picture to drop it into Discord so you could see it a little bit more clearly for the players. And there it is.
Really beautiful.
Now, the picture, photo credit, I got from some dude on Twitter, but it's actually a sculpture that was carved by a fellow by the name of Andy Levy, Levy. It was carved in 2012 in a park in Kendal, England, in Fletcher Park.
Nice.
And it's this carved throne that was carved out of a tree stumpy thing, and I just happened to stumble on it over the weeks here on Twitter, and I thought, hey, wait a minute. So there it is. You've uncovered that in the thicket. It has faces carved in it. It has runes. There's some stonework in it. Like the chair itself is actually stone that has been set to fit inside the carved back. There's almost looks like a crown up near the top. The two faces, one appears to be male, one female. You see mushrooms and fungi. There's stairs leading up to it. The very tip of it is probably 10 feet, 12 feet high. And that's what you unearth.
Baldwin, do you recognize any of the markings? Is this from your people?
He shakes his head and scratches his beard, pulls his flask out, takes a pull. No, this is not dwarven. This is more natural. And he looks over at Meredith. What about you, elf?
Do I know anything about this?
The answer
What are
is
your languages?
no.
Wait, let me check the chat real quick. No, I don't know anything. No.
You all can each maybe roll a history. But tell me, anybody who's going to do this, tell me what you're thinking, what you're hoping it might be, or what you might surmise based on what your character might know, based on what you know about your character, without metagaming or anything. But what do each of you who wish to determine, what do you think it is? He Baldwin O'Farrell says, this is not dwarven make, especially out here in the forest. But I don't know. This is old. This is ancient. And it has some of the runes on it that were also on the arch. You could tell they seem to be the same characters. Runes.
I was just going to say, Hebney is an artisan. He works with wood, as I mentioned before. When he examined the tree, but I think he would be very interested in the craftsmanship that's gone into this throne.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's going to examine it using sort of the knowledge of his carpentry tools,
Okay.
sort of thing. And if he's seen any of these markings before, something similar as he's studied, carpentry and artisan work.
Okay. Give me a history. And I'm going to give you a DC of 16 to really come up with anything.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay.
3.
You just know that this is a neat piece, and
Real neat.
You're fascinated. It's really neat. You're fascinated by it. You're intrigued. You want to know more about it. It moves you. It's so ornately carved. I mean, it's been beaten down over the probably centuries by weather and the elements, but here it sits. Your carpentry skills can tell you that this is probably 300 or 400 year old piece of stump.
This is important. He'll just kind of sit there enthralled and sort of rubbing his hands as he's studying the subtleties of the artwork.
Blarg's going to be thinking about the heraldry aspects on the chair, the like the seal and just the symbology on it, and he's thinking back with his service to the Knights Protector, and hearkening back to their knights, they're into heraldry, and thinking about perhaps old foes that the knights may have encountered.
Okay, roll me history.
I got a 5.
Yeah, you're just...
Oh, you're right. This is pretty neat.
You almost make out like the face, the male face on the one side has got like the beard and the hair almost look to be more like oak leaves, and there's acorns among it.
Oh.
Daryl, if you're gonna try to figure this out, I would say you could maybe lean on some religion to sort through this a little bit.
Yep. So he'll kind of look to see if there's any religious symbology on it, and if there's something that he recognizes that might be, crosses over all types of faiths and religions, etc. on it.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me religion.
Okay. Let's see. He got 20.
Okay. You recognize the symbology on the front, the male face in particular, as looks like an old version of the holy symbol for a being known as the Shalm, Shalm, Obad High. That nature, the woodlands, freedom, beasts. It's a nature deity. Old faith. And when you say that, Baldwin is like forehead slap. The old one. That kind of a thing.
Daryl kind of asks, goes out, he looks and he's like, Baldwin, I'm not familiar at all really with this. I've read about it in my in my training, but I don't know anything, I've never seen or dealt with this deity. Why does this ring true to you?
Just some dwarves worship more ancient clans, but that's when you said that the Shalm and Obad High, this is the old faith, the old faiths of nature, the druids. And he kind of nods. Yes.
So with that, kind of while he's inspecting it, Daryl is going to actually kind of climb up and actually kind of sit on it. See if he can get any further, guidance with regards to what's going on with it.
Okay.
Yeah, the massage feature
What do
still
you?
works.
Yeah, to see the massager still. That's awesome.
That's right.
That is awesome.
He puts in 2 quarters into the little side slot,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like,
What?
like on vacation with the bed.
What do you think of or consider or?
Well, he's what he's trying to figure out is what he's hoping is that he's going to receive some type of message from his or another god with regards to what this area is, what the archway means, and how we can use this type of information to be able to um, uh, assist us in our quest.
Right. Okay. Um, Nothing really comes to you. Your background is, divine through Vilnius, god of what,
Yep.
storms.
Yep.
And while what Baldwin tells you makes sense, like you've heard of the Old Faith and you've heard of druids, but you just have no knowledge of this. You don't get any massages or tinglies when you sit on the throne. Nothing happens. It's just a commanding view of this meadow or this overgrown clearing. There is the other face on the other face of the arm. If you want to make a religion check on that one,
Sure.
and you could roll with advantage now that you've kind of got Obad High sorted out, identified.
So, okay, that is a 7, but we'll do advantage.
Yep.
And that is, Jesus.
Oh,
2.
Okay. I would say if you add 2 to your 7, this other image, it's kind of a rotund female face. And it occurs to you as you point at it and so forth, Baldwin kind of has a look. And since you're working together, he gets advantage, and it occurs to him. And he says, Beori, the Orth Mother. Yes, this is the other nature druidic goddess of the Orth. Rain, plants, animals. Yeah, that makes sense. This is a druidic site. Very old.
And so Daryl will again take that information. He's still sitting there, and he asks his god Vilnius to help him as to whether or not this information, or with respect to the other gods, will be is there some way that they can help guide us? So he's kind of calling out to his own god to kind of discuss between the deities whether or not we can be helped.
Sure. So what you're getting from all of that is you turn that over in your mind and everything you know about Vilnius and what little you know about the ways of druids or Beori and Obadhai, that it absolutely makes sense what Baldwin has said, that this is likely an ancient druidic site of some sort, with the trees, the big oak that was in the middle. Perhaps it has somehow been corrupted over the ages. Because you know that Obadhai and Beori are both more neutral and nature-leaning than anything, not so much good or evil. And these were clearly creatures filled with malice. Maybe they've just somehow spirited their way into the hearts of these trees. You don't know, but it's just probably an ancient druidic site that's been overgrown, that's been, here for centuries. Again, based on what Hebney shared, the throne, the carvings, the tree itself that was felled, it's got to be 300 or 400 or more years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Daryl pops down. I got nothing, guys.
let me give it a try. Ebony's gonna hop up there and sit on it.
Okay.
Are you king of the druids now?
Feels good. Feels really good.
Man, it is sturdy as hell, well made. The stone of the seat is set in there, and then the tops of the arms are stone, like granite. Baldwin would point that out very readily. and again, it just provides you a visage of the surrounding area. You know, sun is kind of, the sun you can't see, but twilight is coming upon you. Again, you can see, because you're elevated, you can see the ring of the oaks, and then around the oaks, the dense pines and firs and cedars of the forest itself, and the taller, different type of oaks, and birches and hickories all around. So it's this ring inside of, and it has this dark green ring around it from the taller, because those pines, a lot of those pines and firs are maybe 80, 100 feet high. They're huge.
You know what, fellas? As I sit here looking out across the grove here, I'm starting to realize I got my ass kicked back there. And he hops down off the throne.
Roll perception for me, Hebney, as you sit there on the throne.
Okay. God, I'm going to use my inspiration that Chris gave me. I rolled a 3. Oh, good. I rolled a 4. So that's 5 total.
Okay. What's your AC?
Oh, damn.
17.
Okay. So a javelin comes rifling out of the south, the direction of the archway, and you're kind of trying to perceive, you're looking, kind of feeling very thronely and trying to just take all this in, and a javelin falls at the feet of the throne.
Vine blights have javelins now.
Yeah.
We got company, boys.
As a kind of a crude metal looking, it's got like feathers and bands around it, very crude looking javelin, sticks in the ground right at the feet of the throne, missing the party. And you see in the lengthening twilight of early evening, and again, the sun goes down early this time of year, the hulking silhouette of something standing in the archway with an arm outstretched pointing at you. But you can't really make it out with it. Would you roll a 5 perception?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like a trick of the shadows. There's you still have this huge ass oak tree that's fallen, that's between you and it was a hell of a javelin throw, to get that thing all the way, that close to you guys. I mean, you all know javelins have a short range of 30, long range 120, but it was a hell of a throw, and it drops, and that's where we're going to hit pause.
Oh.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, dear.
Hopefully we don't have to.
Sounds like a good
3-4
time
hours.
for Blarg Parlay.
Hopefully we don't have to wait another month before we find out what the hell's
my
happening.
Dude. Yet. Hebney has got his clock cleaned on that.
The rest of you
So did Blarg.
are all kind of around that throne, unable to, you didn't even know it was back there because Hebney's all absorbed, and he kind of looks up, and this javelin comes in, and he's like, "Oh fuck," dude, in the art, and that's where we're gonna hit pause.
We got company. Oh, that's
Really
awesome.
pissed off those druids.
Yeah, he wants us get out of his seat.
Well,
okay.
maybe I can fool them into thinking that I'm their druid leader. We'll see what happens.
There you go. But you can't tell what you saw. So, wow, what a session.
That was great.
It's a good one.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you so
That
much
was
for
fun, man. You guys,
for running the game, and
Took some
was fun.
took some pain there, man. The vine blights, the tree blight, and you've stumbled into some ancient druid grove or something. But pretty cool, or maybe not. Okay, well, let's go around the horn and let's do some outros and maybe tell folks where and how they can find you. And we're going to do a raid, so friends in the viewing audience, don't go away. Well, I should probably say who we're going to start with. Let's start with Blarg.
Oh, hey, everybody.
Whoa, no pressure.
Hey, everybody. I'm Chris WikiVA on Discord and Twitch. I have Twitter. It's some combination of my name and some number. There's like at least 6 Chris Siglers in the world, so I think I'm number 6. But whatever, you can find me there. If you want to see me play Dungeons and Dragons, this is the only place you can see it because this is the only place I play it. I've been playing on this channel for, well over a year now. And it's been awesome. Good people, good times, good adventures. So I love playing here and look forward to coming back in 2 weeks.
All those good things, and Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's not a mage. Yeah. Speaking of Carl, Erideth, you may defend yourself, sir. I've
Yeah.
thrown a javelin across your bow. Yes.
5-minute rebuttal.
Yes.
Um,
Go.
Hello. Hello again, friends. I am Carl. I am Carnage on Wiley's Discord. You can find me playing D&D every other Sunday without fail right here, unless we take a month or more off for life reasons. But I'm somewhat kind of regularly here as much as it happens. So, yes, this was a lot of fun. This was a very good session. Hopefully we don't have this cliffhanger last more than 2 weeks. And I will close with lasagna nipples.
Yeah.
Lasagna nipples, yes.
Yum.
Nice. Very good. All right, let's go immediately to your side. Daryl Nimblebottom.
Thanks, Scott. Great session. Bob Doc Shoulder. I play obviously here, and then I've been away from also Friday nights just because they haven't worked out, but definitely Friday night crusades with Phantom, and it's been tricky, real life. But I try to be there every Friday as well. So, look forward to being back here in 2 weeks.
Cool. Nice. All right. Last but not least, playing the Cranky Gnome, Hebney Cragbeam, old Dave from Guild Superior.
Yeah, thank you, Scott and friends. This has been awesome. I love this group. Very fun. My name's Dave. You can find me over at the Guild Superior Twitch channel. Please check us out. We'd love to have you come and hang out with us on Wednesday nights when we play Beyond Saltmarsh, which is our Greyhawk campaign that's been going for quite some time. The party has just found themselves lost in the Amadio jungle as they seek out some lost ruins and get into all kinds of hijinks and shenanigans. And we've got some new games starting up as well in the next couple of weeks, and lots going on over there. So yeah, come and check us out.
Nice.
Scott, thank you as always. It's awesome to be here.
That was fun. I had a good time today. And that's you guys are looking for the old hidden shrine of Timochin, right?
That's right.
Timochin.
Yep. With
Another
couple
classic
of,
module.
Homebrew twists.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Homebrew twists, but it's
Always
yeah,
got to
it's getting
throw a
there.
wrench in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we started in Saltmarsh and we've made our way this far. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, our
Beyond
Monday.
it.
Our Monday game is in Saltmarsh. Excellent. Well, thank you guys. That was a lot of fun. And again, we were missing Enoch Pratt, but hopefully he'll be able to join us next time. I don't think he saw my reply. He stopped into chat, said hey, and I said hey, yeah. Next time you're here, you can you can roll up a new character, so that'll be good. He didn't reply, so I think he just tapped out. Damn Weirdo 2, thank you for those bits, man. That is super freaking nice of you to do that. So thanks for being here, and thanks to all of the folks hanging out. We do play D&D on Sundays. I put the schedule out there, but yeah, whatever. But we do play this game on Sundays. Oftentimes it's at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, sometimes a little later, Eastern times. Monday nights we also play D&D in the Forgotten Realms, and we are running the Ghosts of Saltmarsh. But we're running it in the Dalelands. So that's a bit of a twist, and the party is really working themselves into the community there, so that's getting interesting. That game will run probably in a couple of weeks, so just kind of keep your eyes out. If you want to join our Discord, you are more than welcome to do so. I dropped a link to it there, and then we do have a handy-dandy little podcast called Greycast, and it is a podcast that features all the things we can figure out that are cool about the world of Greyhawk. Mateus and myself are the co-hosts, and that drops every other Monday. We drop a week from tomorrow, so check that out as well. I dropped a link to that in our chat. So thanks for hanging out. We're going to raid, I believe Lord Gazumba is out doing things, I think his normal Sunday night thing, so let's see if we can't track him down. Give him a big scream when you get there, and thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys hopefully in a couple of weeks. Woo!
See you next time.
See y'all next time. Thanks for hanging out.